So we can get going.
All
Fight
right, so
one.
how it works, we haven't really been talking about it. We're trying to have a more professional format now. So we actually have a tape group now. So we're going to start off with our guys that do tape, and then we'll open the floor to discussion.
Yeah, it's one guy on every fight, so it's not like we go for an hour or anything. It's just one guy will lead each fight. I'll call tail of the tape, give a quick little my quick little synopsis of the fight, hand it over to the guy with tape, and then we hand it over to whoever else is wants to get in on the fight. So the first fight of the night is Esteban Ribovic versus man. I, I can't even find someone to say Rod Zabov's his first name correctly, but that is his last name. Um, Rob Zabov took a short notice fight to get into the UFC. I don't know that he even had a week's notice on this fight, to be completely honest with you. He took it on very short notice. Tail of the tape is Esteban. I was a little behind. I'm lying. I had it up everywhere but one, guys. All right. Fucking one fight slacking. Sorry. Tail of the tape is. Oh, we don't have the full tail of the tape because this was supposed to be the Kirk fight and Kirk got
Mhm.
pulled. Um,
I
who
still
was
did
on?
some research on it because I had Kirk and then they pulled it. I mean, it opened up as a line, still giving it to, we'll go with Jaguar Paw because I love nicknames, especially when I can't read your name. Uh, so, Jaguar Paw has a lot of like a wrestling, aggressive. He spent a lot of time in the PFL. I watched him kind of manhandle Zach Zane. I watched his Alex Martinez fight. He is a very push forward, hard grappling style. He wants to lay and play. He wants to beat the shit out of you. Uh, I mean, he moves forward with hard swings all the time. He's not the same guy in the second round, though. He does kind of slow down. I don't think he gasses because I watched him go, in a couple of his decision fights. So he still has a gas tank, but he's not the same fighter that he is in the first round. So he does look a little slower. Uh, Now, when it comes to Ribovics, he is a little
Esteban.
Esteban. All right, I like it. Esteban. So when Esteban, who doesn't sell cocaine, is fighting, he's 11-0. He's never been to a decision. I watched him knock out a few guys pretty good. He's got a nice knockout with a counter, and what kind of got him to the show in Dana White's Contender Series. He's only 26, almost 27 years old. I watched him get taken down with a couple double legs in a fight where he fought this Jose guy, which was actually his longest fight, and he gets up pretty quick. So is he going to get taken down? Yeah, I think he is going to get taken down, but I think he's going to land a lot of strikes in this fight. Uh, he's the underdog, crazily, even though this is his shot and a short notice, but because I think he's a vet. Jaguar Paw is quite the veteran. That's why the line's more on his side. But I'm going to take him to lose. I think this guy's got a lot of heat. He throws some solid punches. He's not wild. He throws a lot of power. He's always moving. He likes to. He's got good footwork. He keeps his distance. If he does get to the ground, he uses a nice Kimura a lot to get back to his feet, and I saw that on Jaguar Paw in a couple of his fights. So that's how the guys got back to their feet. So I think he's going to be able to get back up. So I'm going to take Escoban, and I'm going to take the bet as a money line on Escoban because he's an underdog. Prop bet, I'll go inside the distance. And then if a super, I would go for like a KO.
We got
Floor.
Gabe the sharpshooter. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if this Argentinian dude had any type of takedown defense. Because if he does, then I think he's an easy bet here. Especially because Loic is on short notice, and his gas tank sucks. Honestly, I know him pretty well. I've bet him in his last like 3 4 fights. Um, but if he's gonna be on short notice, he's a grappler, so it's like, and he's hittable. So being hittable against a guy like that, who can throw heat, plus you're on short notice, so your gas tank's going to be fucked. I think if you can confidently say, like, this Esteban dude is going to, not get taken down or get up or whatever, then I think he's an easy bet and probably by KO.
I mean, he's definitely going to go to the ground just for how good the wrestling is. Loki, however the heck you said his name, he's going to take him down, but I think he can get back up. So I don't think he's going to make it 3 rounds with him.
Rhino,
Yeah.
what were your bets? You said you picked Esteban. You would bet his money line, and what else? You take the KO on the super.
I took the KO for my super, and I took my prop bet inside the distance, and my bet was the money line.
So I will say, I will hop in on this one and say I ran numbers on this one, which when I'm trying to find small props for parlays and shit, I have pretty good success. I mean, numbers don't always lie. So Loic, I'm not sure exactly how it's said. The dudes went the distance 8 times. 8 times in 24 fights. He's never been finished. Esteban's got to come out, finish you early. Nobody's ever really seen what happens when he can't finish someone early. I don't think he finishes Luick early. I don't see it. If someone was going to finish you, it would have happened by now by numbers. So by numbers, I am adding that to a 5-leg props parlay that it will go over 1.5. I'm not on either fighter, but I am on the over 1.5 for a 5-leg parlay.
I like that. Bet. I think it's a good one, Joe.
Anybody else actually on this fight? Oh, well, look at that. We can lap that one out in just a few damn minutes. What a shame.
That's how good I am.
Up next is Damon Blackshear and Farid Basharat. Basharat is 9-0. Blackshear is 12-4. Blackshear is 5'10", 72-inch reach. Basharat is 5'8", 71-inch reach. They're fighting at 135, in case anybody's not aware. Huge difference in the strikes landed per minute between the two, but it's only based on one UFC fight each. So, like, the stats here are going to be so skewed, it's not really worth taking. I taped the shit out of Blackshear, and I took him 1 or 2 fights ago for the same reason that anybody is on Blackshear is going to say, is because the sub is live. The sub is live. Listen, the sub is not live, man. He's losing this fucking fight. I am on Basharat all day in this fight. Blackshear has done nothing but let me down. Call it a fade piece for me if you have to, because I gotta catch Blackshear now. Like I gotta fucking catch him now. But I am definitely on Basharat here. Tape was, let me see. I gotta go up and down this list. I gotta figure out a better system. Is Will here? Oh, he's fucking listening. Will, can you get on the mic?
I sent him an invite.
I sent him one too. Vinny, go ahead.
Oh, you're coming by surprise. Okay, I was just going to say that the Bash brothers, this motherfucker is badass. Both him and his brothers are really good fighters. They're good strikers, and they're good on the ground. So I don't think this guy's got a chance. I mean, I heard he's come of a gym that's really good, but I still think the Bashrat brothers or Bashrat's gonna win it all the time.
We just call them the Bash Brothers, man. We'll bring that back to life again. Go ahead, Gabe. What you got?
Wait. Will had tape. Let Will go, and then let Gabe go. Will, go ahead.
So I think Basharat's going to meet some resistance in this fight. I think Blackshear can take the fight wherever he wants. Basharat necessarily doesn't take the fight wherever he wants it to go. He reacts. So I'm going to take the dog shot on Blackshear.
Oh,
wow! Didn't see that one coming. Did not see that one coming.
Yeah, me neither. Gabe, go ahead.
Yeah, just take that money and just throw it in the trash.
Fuck that. Mail it to me, bro. Mail it to me. 5 kids, homie. Mail
flush
it
down the toilet, burn it, whatever you want to do. But Yeah, I
Donate
was
to your
talking.
local school.
I was talking to Dravi about this one, and he gave me like a full breakdown. I almost didn't need to tape it, but Blackshear fucking sucks. He should have got finished by Zalal. Zalal should be fucking executed for not finishing that fight. But I think Bashrat is a little bit better than Zalal. Zalal's pretty hesitant, but like the Bashrat brothers kind of just they don't really like they're counter strikers, but they are okay with like being hit at times. And Blackshear doesn't have power, and he doesn't have the hands for this fight. And he's got a better ground game than his brother, in my opinion. So if it does get there, then I think Blackshear is going to be in trouble either way. So I think Blackshear could get finished late, but I wouldn't bank on it just because the Bashrat brothers are kind of decision guys.
Hey, yo, Gabe, hey,
I,
we
I
got
mean,
back there. Go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
I mean, last year he hasn't been finished at all, and you don't see him throwing.
Hey, Will, you're breaking in and up, brother.
Hey, bro,
You're
your
cut.
mic fucked, man. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you're
go
cutting in
ahead
and
and
out.
shit. Go
Oh, my
fix your
bad.
shit,
What I
Will.
said is Blackshear, he doesn't get finished. He's pretty durable. And Fareed, he doesn't throw with intention to kill. So I can see Damon making this fight pretty close. Damon, I mean.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, Zalal doesn't have power. He doesn't have any type of submissions, and he should have finished the fight, right? Zalal just he almost dies in the third round, right?
Yeah, but that was
So,
on
and I
10
think,
days notice for Blackshear.
yeah,
He's got a full
Yeah,
camp
that's
and
what I was
stuff.
gonna
I
say.
mean, Blackshear's ass either way, so it doesn't. I don't think it matters. Zalal is not better than Bashrat, so it's like they're. I would say their striking is pretty similar, except Bashrat's I think levels above. Zalal is a finished product. Bashrat is still improving. So I think he rolls.
Anybody else on this fight? D baby, what you got?
Nah, Gabe, Will covered it. I was just gonna say it. Black shit was on short notice, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, man. He might do something. I don't know, but I got Basher all day.
So, but here's what I'm gonna say this to you, baby, because I feel like I was there once. What's he gonna do? He might sub him, right? The sub is live, right? It's not, bro. It's not. It's not. I just want to tell you, it's not. I fell for that shit too. Please don't fall for that shit. Please do not fall for that shit.
I mean, he did almost had it on Zalal, but shit.
Shit, Brian Ortega almost had Volk. Shit, bro. You ain't never seen
That
Fast and the Furious, bro? Winning is winning. It doesn't matter. You win by an inch or a mile. They put that shit in the movie so everybody would know, bro.
yeah,
I'm just clowning. I am on Basharat though. He is my pick. I did put him in some parlays. I posted those parlays in the group. I think if not, I'll put them in there. They're just $25 parlays, $20 parlays. I don't bet big. I don't give no shits to bet big. If I win big, it'll still be $20 parlays, and that shit'll sit there. I'm gonna laugh this one out and hit the next fight unless somebody's got something on it. Nothing. All right, works for me. So the next fight of the night is Jessica Panay versus Tabitha Baby Shark Ritchie. Panay is 14-7. Ritchie is 7-1. Panay is 5'5", 67-inch reach. Ritchie is 5'1", 61-inch reach. That is a huge discrepancy. 4 inches in height, 6 inches in reach. They're fighting at 115. They both throw relatively the same amount of strikes per minute, 2.6, 2.9. They both absorb at relatively the same amount of significant strikes per minute at nearly 5. It is never good when they're getting hit more than they're hitting people. The big discrepancy that you're going to find in this fight is Tabitha Ricci's takedowns. They're way higher percentage, way higher rate. Way higher accuracy. Richie's coming off of 2 wins over Vienna and Oliveira, and Panay is coming off of a loss to Emily Ducote after a win over, Carolina. I say her last name wrong all the time. She did beat Loopy before that too, but then lost twice before that. I'm personally, I wouldn't watch tape on this fight, but I know we all sign up and somebody had to. Usman, you out there?
Yeah, you got me on mic.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so yeah, I did watch tape on this one. I watched all of Ricci's fights in the UFC, and then I went ahead and watched a good amount of Penny's fights. What I have here is Ricci's a one-dimensional striker, mostly due to her size. She likes to pump out a timed jab, attacking the lead leg with her rear leg kick. Blitzes in with a 1-2-3 combo, trying to get a hold of you for the takedown. She likes to move forward, but has shown the ability to have footwork when moving backwards, circling away from strikes. We saw that in the Manon Ferro fight for how long it lasted, and at the end of her most recent fight, I think with Poliana Viana. Um, Sorry, she does have decent takedowns. She's shown to have a power double. That's probably her best takedown, but she also does a single leg, and then she can also do trips off of caught kicks. She doesn't give up on the takedown, so that's good. She likes to really press forward into you, and if she does get you to the fence, she'll use the fence to bounce you off and then turn an angle. Her best punch is going to be her overhand right that she throws off at the end of her blitz. She has good jiu-jitsu and good top control, and will land effective strikes from the ground and pound if she's allowed. Red flags that I have here for her. She doesn't really move her head, which can be trouble because her main line of attack comes from a blitz, and if she could be countered and timed right, it'll definitely sit her down. Luckily, Penne doesn't really have that kind of power, doesn't throw that much strikes, and I think you saw that from the stat rundown. She likes to move forward using a jab, a 1-2, and then a teep kick from distance. Although she usually has length, she doesn't really use it much because she wants to get into the clinch and use her knees to try and get into a sneaky back take. She's willing to give up takedowns because her jiu-jitsu is the best part of her game. Mixed with her long body, she does have the opportunities for a sub. Because she's comfortable on her back, she's willing to stay there and hunt to sub. She will shoot a double leg, but is usually just to get into space. She likes to grapevine the legs when she does take the back and try to tumble down an opponent. Red flags that I saw here is that in her last fight, she did not check leg kicks at all, which ended up fucking her in the long run when it went all 3 rounds. She likes to put a lot of weight on that lead leg, which Tabitha should be able to eat that up. And when she throws, she kind of keeps her heads down, keeps her hands down with no head movement, and it kind of puts her in range for Tabitha's best punch, that overhand right. I do have Ricci as my pick. I said the best bet here is going to be the over 2.5 because although both women have the ability to finish it off their back or in the jiu-jitsu, I think Tabitha is going to be able to show that she can stop the submission. She did that against Poliana and Maria Oliveira. Maria Oliveira was a much bigger woman there as well, had the long legs and arms to try and get submissions from the back, even though that's not her game. But yeah, I took the bet for over 2.5 is probably your best bet. Prop Ricci by decision, and then if you're getting sexy with the super prop, I put Ricci by split.
I was just about to ask you what were your thoughts on a split for Jessica Penne, though. You don't, because I mean, if anybody can upset her, let's be realistic. It can be Jessica Penne. She did just beat Lupe Godinez. And it was a split
Okay.
win. It was an upset, but I mean, she's a better wrestler than Baby Shark, like hands down.
Here's the thing that with that one, when you go back and watch that fight, Loopy didn't do any takedowns for some strange ass reason. All of her takedown attempts were off of like a judo hip throw, and that just allowed what's her name, Penne, to just jump up on top of the back and make it more of a jiu-jitsu scramble from there. I do think that the odds are crazy. I don't think Ricci should be a minus 285. I do think that there are avenues for Penne to win, but I think she can get overwhelmed on the feet. And honestly, I think if Ricci were to fight smart, time that jab, use the leg kicks, and run away. I really liked her footwork from the outside when she did use it. It's not really advised because she's a smaller fighter against a longer fighter, but Pane is not the best striker in the world either. I think if she can time those jabs, hit the leg kicks, and move on the outside, I think she might have an easy game there too. Then mixing in the takedowns that Pane will basically give her because she wants to have those ground scrambles, if she can land one each round and have a little bit better of the stand up, I think she'll be able to take this in a decision.
I
No
love the in-depth
sprinkles,
break.
Usman.
Excuse me.
No sprinkles, man.
I can't get split decisions, and this one, like I said, I don't like the odds at minus 285 for Richie. I think she should win, but I also really like Penn. I think because she's an old school tough girl, and she's been around for such a long while. I think I have a soft spot for her, but nah, I'm not really feeling any sprinkles. If you have a split, like I said last week with what fight was it? The O'Day Osborne fight, hit the split either way.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
but for me, no, I will not have any sprinkles on this one.
Yeah, just don't get too cute with it if you do it. Just don't pick a side and just take the split.
So I am putting this fight to go the distance in my props parlay for sure. I just think that Richie's takedown pressure will be the difference maker. I do worry. Jessica's got grown woman strength though, bro. That's what worries me. Grown woman strength right there. I don't know a better way to explain it.
Usman, I do want to say I love the breakdown, brother. I love how in depth you went. That was some good stuff, bro.
Yeah, and I always say, like, I agree with Joe. Like, I think sometimes these women get a little stronger and a little better as they mature. I don't think it's like guys. I think over there at that 38 range, sometimes they can really be getting into their woman strength. But it also rides the line of Jessica Penney is a 40-year-old girl who's been doing it a while and who's only had like one fight in the past 5 years or some shit like that. Or it's been a while. No,
He's had
she
injury
had
problems
she
and
had
missed like
three,
4 years.
but it's been a while. It's been a while for sure.
Yeah, she got they were trying to say that she was on some kind of steroids and she couldn't participate for 4 years, and then she finally got cleared. But Vinny's had his hand up for a while. What you got, Vinny?
Hey guys, how are you? Just wanted to say, I don't know, but I think Baby Shark is gonna win this one. I don't believe Penny's got anything in the tank. She's 40 years old. I know what Joe's saying, grown woman's strength, but come on, man, she's been wrestling for a while now, and she lost to Ducati, and Ducati is probably the worst fighter I've ever seen in a woman. So I don't know. I think top of the Richie should be able to put out submission on her, maybe second, third round. That's what all I got.
Anybody
All
else?
right.
Anything?
I do like the ground and pound from Richie. I
He's
think if she does get some control and just starts going off, I think we might look for a finish. But Penny's she's a tough woman as well, so I'd rather go distance.
I'm 100% on the distance. I built a 5-leg prop parlay that's Duplessis inside the distance, Cody versus Trevin inside the distance, no side. The Rebo versus Rads fight that we already talked about over 1.5. This fight goes the distance, and the Gary fight inside the distance. That's my 5-leg prop parlay. I don't know. I feel pretty confident about that one. I don't know why. I just think it's a good one. I'm gonna lap this fight out. That's a long time for that fight. Up next is Manna Marquez and Cameron Saman. Fight at 135. Mana is 5'10", 70-inch reach. Cameron is 5'8", 67-inch reach. Mana throws at 4.4 strikes, significant strikes landed per minute. Cameron is at 4.06, so they're pretty even. Huge discrepancy here is that Mana gets hit 4 times, so give 1 to take 1. Cameron is giving 2 to take 1, getting hit just under 2 times per minute. Takedown, both average just under 1 takedown per 15 minutes, so I don't think it goes to the ground. This is one of 4 fights that I have nothing on at all this week. I didn't tape it. I didn't stat it. I'm not betting it. I'm not parlaying it. I do believe tape is Trace. Is that correct?
Yeah. I got the write up for it.
Go
So
ahead.
I tried not to didn't do too much of this, but I know I kind of get a little carried away in my breakdowns too, like Usman does. But yeah. So Mana, he's a good striker. He doesn't throw a lot of volume, and he does seem to lack killer instinct. He has nice. He has a good switch stance. He switches back and forth as well as giving different looks from different levels. But he doesn't really do anything with it. It's more for show. He doesn't like he'll get you feinting, but he doesn't capitalize on the feint. It's like he takes more pride in just making you flinch than making you pay for it. While he has been able to be taken down, he has shown able to be continuous. He's able to continuously get up and be dangerous in the later rounds. He actually dropped Ronnie Lawrence multiple times in the later rounds, so he carries his power throughout the fight. One thing I did note about him was that he did lose his head coach in Krause, like many fighters did. So I don't know where he's training at, or if he's still at the same gym, or how that's working out. So Cameron, super aggressive, good striking and wrestling. He's the more complete fighter in my opinion. He has nice scrambles. He will fight for your money. I think we see a stand up affair between these two guys as long as it's somewhat close. Simon's not the most defensive fighter. He is there to be hit. Um, I do think Simon has the edge in wrestling, which I think he'll feint with the setup combinations. Despite what the line says, I do think this fight's a lot closer than people are making it out to be. Um, so my pick is Cameron. I like the fight to go to the distance, so I'm actually taking the prop as over 2.5 at -105, and then my super prop. I'm actually gonna. I went with mana split decision because I feel like you're gonna get the juicier line, but at the same time, why get cute? Like I said about the last one, and just look at the split decision. I didn't have the line number for it, but those are usually around plus 4,500. I would say for fights. Well, at least in the bigger weight class. I'm not so sure about the smaller weight classes, but it's usually a pretty juicy line. So I am going to look at that. But nickel and diamond, I wouldn't bet the house on it. Bet responsibly. It is a home run. It's not either you do miss big or you win big. So spend what you're comfortable spending. Just don't go crazy with it. So again, the pick is Simon.
I actually like Martinez in this spot. Keep it
What's the
real.
bet though? So what's the pick? What's the bet? What's the
He's got a
prop?
shot.
I said I had the pick of Simon. I chose the prop for over 2.5 at -105. And then I did do mana split decisions. I do think that he could win a split decision. I think, like I said, I think it's closer, especially if it stays striking. I actually kind of, man, I don't know. It's close. But yeah, I would do split decision over 2.5 and Cameron. But Mana is very live, and I'm actually probably going to use him on DraftKings because I do think he is a good dog that can win the fight and can knock this guy out. I mean, we've seen that he carries the power late, and he carries it throughout the fight, and his good up game's good, man. I mean, Ronnie Lawrence, I mean, he kept getting back up, so yeah, I think it's going to be a tight fight.
Yeah, give me Martinez topic.
All right, bro. You betting him for
Hey,
real?
the only thing that is it just because he's young? Is that the reason why you're loving this Martinez? I mean, I see him. He's no joke. I agree with you on that. But obviously, this is a young kid thrown into this fight to kind of knock him out.
Yeah, this is what we look at. This is more or less like a setup fight, like I would say. I mean,
Yeah.
they're giving him the opportunity to put on another show potentially because the guys will strike with him. So, like I said, as long as he wants to keep striking, I think it stays striking because he is the better grappler. I do think he wins the exchanges and the grappling whenever it comes time to that. But go ahead, Kate. What you got on this?
I just don't think it's a fight to really bet on, D.
No, yeah, bet you will. I mean, like I said,
I was talking D, baby.
okay.
I
Oh
know I
no,
feel it, but I shit. Yeah, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm a what's that word? Degenerate. Fuck
Oh,
it.
it's 10K or cat, bro. That's what you're looking for.
I mean, we're on underdog night, though, man. We
He said,
basically
"What's
picked up
that
underdog.
word? Degenerates." This motherfucker. Cade, what you got, bro?
Man,
nah.
fuck you, Joe.
I was gonna say like I'm not gonna particularly bet that fight, but I feel like the UFC Trace, that was a good breakdown, but I feel like the UFC's like I feel like Simon's one of those kids that like they like. You know what I'm saying? Like you get that sense. I think we talked about it earlier. You get that sense of people that the UFC likes, or they try to give fights to build them up, and I feel like they
Yeah,
might see
they have
something.
setup fights.
Yeah, like I feel like they see something in this fight that Simon can take advantage of because I feel like they do like the kid. Like
And I don't know. Like, that would be my pick
like the
personally.
Hooper.
I 100% agree, but I feel like they can only do so much for you. Once you in there, they
Oh,
can
of
give you
course,
the
of course.
opponent. But if Guido Canetti, that dude was always a setup fight. But he's an old mean bastard.
No,
And just likes to
I
knock people
agree.
out.
They can't do nothing when the cage door is locked, right? But I'm just saying, like, I feel like they're giving him fights that they think he can exploit something in. So
Of course,
I
he's
just
only 22. I mean, he's
yeah.
22 years old. Of course, they're feeding him some chicken.
So that's what I would. That would be the side that I would. I never taped the fight, but that would probably be the side I would pick as a fan. But I'm not gonna like bet it or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is the actual line right now?
I don't know, but I can tell
I
you that.
got him
Bro,
as a
he over
250.
minus 200. Come on, man. Y'all tripping. He minus over 200. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
minus 260 is at least what he opened at. Martinez plus 210. Hey,
Yeah,
let
250.
Zaza get. Zaza's had his hands up. Zaza bets. Go ahead, bud.
Yo, what's good, Joe? Hey, first, congrats on that host you had earlier, man. You doing your thing out here, man. Congrats. And then
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Go ahead. What you got on the fight?
no, I don't got. I just want to ask a quick question. Does he train with Duplessis by any chance?
Yeah, they do. They train with the same team. Ice. It's like a three letters. I can't think what it is right now, but yeah, they're from the same fight team.
Ah, shit. You know I'm high on
The
Duplessis.
African
Yeah.
parlay, baby. That's Africa. That's why I took this fight. I took both Africans because I wanted to see it.
What's
But
the
I'll
holiday?
break that down later.
What's the holiday? I'm sure there's some kind of like South African holiday coming up,
Yeah,
right? There's got to be something, bro.
Andrew, why the fuck do you have to go there?
They trying to get out of
Because
the
it's
red
funny.
booties, bro. They trying to come to America. That's
Bro,
why.
I'll never forget when the last South African, not to change the subject, but the last South, I fucking joined the fucking narrative side of things. And, bro, I lost my motherfucking ass, bro. I won 1 out of
That's
8
what you get.
bets.
That's what
I
you
won,
get.
hold on, I
That's
won
what
1
you
out of
get,
8
Cade.
bets. I texted those motherfuckers in
Fuck
that
them
group chat. I
narratives.
said, kick me out this motherfucker, bro. I ain't doing this narrative bullshit no more.
That's what you get. Bro, we got a tape group if you want to get on. You could pick 2 fights every week and tape them. Then we'll tape the rest, okay? So you don't never have to care about a narrative again. I'm lapping this fight. I'm done with it. Here's what's next. I don't even know what's next. I'm just done with that damn fight.
And Gary's next.
Yeah, he is. Man, Ian Gary. We could call him Ian Easy Money Gary. All right,
Wait, is
Ian
it Ian
Gary.
Gary or Ian Machado Gary?
Ian
Where do you get
Gary.
the Machado from?
It's
UFC.
Ian
Hey
Gary
guys,
Machado Lopez Garcia.
Hey, Ian Gary at UFCstats.com. That's what we're going with. Ian Gary, 10-0,
He took
6'3".
his like girlfriend's fucking last name, right?
I don't care.
he got married.
74-inch
We're
reach.
talking about the fights.
Yeah, 74-inch reach. Song Kian is 18-6, 6 foot, 71-inch reach. He's given up 3 inches height, 3 inches reach. Gary's got 3 fights in the UFC. He's landing at almost 6 significant strikes per minute. Song, who has over 5 fights in the UFC, so stats add up, lands at over 4 significant strikes per minute. They both absorb at just over 4 significant strikes per minute. The only advantage you'll see there is that Gary should be able to basically slip 2 extra punches for every 4 that Song lands statistically. Neither one of these dudes are shooting the takedown. Neither one of them are going to go for the submission. This fight is definitely staying on the feet. Both guys swing a lot. We've seen Ian's chin hold up. Song is going to stand with him. I'm putting this fight is on my parlay props for inside the distance. I'm on Gary, but I'm just taking inside the distance for my parlay. Trace, is this fight you too?
No. I was gonna throw up something. I thought you were breaking it down. Whoever got it can go.
No, I got to
me.
scroll up to see. So who's on tape on this one?
That's me.
Go ahead, bud.
All right, so when I actually tape fights, I don't like to look at the line first because it clouds my judgment. So I just like to look at the fights on tape. But I was very disheartened when I put all this time and effort into these tapes, and then I looked at the fucking line and I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" Song Kanan, I mean, He's actually a decent fighter. I do like him. He's got a pretty powerful right hand. He's pretty technical when he's controlling his own pace. He's a kickboxer, so Joe's right. He's not taking it to the ground. I've noticed when in his wins, he's going to throw that 1-2. He's going to have that straight right. He has pretty good takedown defense. If he does hit the ground though, he gets right back up. Ian Gary, Machado, Lopez, Garcia could take him down if he wants, but I do think it's going to be a striking affair. But I've noticed in his wins, if you look at his wins, these are all dudes who aren't even in the UFC anymore. So I just think when he faces inferior competition, he looks pretty good. But he does have some power. In his losses, though, it's a striking defense. His striking defense isn't that good. He gets popped. And dude is hungry for leg kicks. He just eats them all day. And I think Ian Gary is going to just exploit that very bad. He had let me see who his fight was. I think it was, it was against Gangrene. And he fucking put him down with some calf kicks. Like, I was, oof. That's going to be a spot he exploits. Ian Gary, I'm impressed with him, actually. His first fight against Jordan Williams, I wasn't impressed. Within the first minute and a half, he got tagged up. His nose was busted. He got clinched up, but he didn't take any damage. But he stayed poised. He stayed calm, and that's what I like about him. And then his last two fights against Weeks and Green, he just got a lot better. He's a big, rangy guy. He knows how to use his range. Those leg kicks are there. He can do whatever he wants in the striking game, I think. He fights very well off his back foot. So even if Kunan does charge him, which he will because they're both counter strikers, and when Kunan doesn't get someone going towards him, he tries to exploit it, but all he does is run forward. Ian Machado, Gary Lopez Garcia is very great off his back foot, but when he's going forward, he's even more deathly. So I am going to take inside the distance with this for Ian Gary.
Nice. I couldn't concur more. Trace had his hand up right away. Go ahead, then throw it over to average, bud.
Yeah, I think he broke that down perfect, man. I honestly think he sets him up pretty early in the fight to walk upon that punch and goes to sleep. I will have money on the Ian Gary Machado under half a round, whatever that is. I'm going to put some money on it. I think he starches him inside of 2 minutes. I think it's a pretty quick fight, to be honest with you.
Damn, DraftKings lets you bet it by the second on some fights, bro.
Yeah, but I'm just going to take the under half round and just a sprinkle. I'm hoping it's pretty juicy, but it might not be since he's such a big favorite.
Yeah, it's probably like plus 200. Average, go ahead.
This one is like real simple. It's like, this. I don't know if you've ever heard of like the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. It's Ian Gary. He's too slick and he's too big for him, and he's getting way better. So it's Ian Gary all the way.
Yeah, man, it's tough because when Kunan faced better competition, as in Alex Morono and Max Griffin, he got dominated. Like, he got his ass beat just very badly. And his fight against Griffin was 2 years ago. He got knocked out completely cold. I don't ever really like guys coming off of getting knocked out cold at all. He took a 2-year break, which I think his body needed it, especially after a serious concussion like that. But again, he's facing superior competition, and I think Ian Gary can potentially be that dude. So this is clearly a setup fight. Like Average said, keep it simple, don't overcomplicate it. He's gonna beat him. I don't think he's gonna be able to make it 15 minutes, but if he does, hats off to him.
Sorry to interrupt. Is this the guy that also has a loss to Adesanya on his record, or is this someone else on the card?
Yeah, it is him, I believe. Yeah, it was back in the day at middleweight. I don't really hold that against him, obviously.
No, you can't. You can't. Baby, what you got?
Shit, man, I'm just speaking into existence, man. Ian Gary versus Jack Dilla. Book it.
I
That'd
would
be a
watch the
fun
fuck
fight.
out of that. Take my money, bro. Take my money.
Yeah,
That'd
They
be
won't do
funny.
that, though. They won't do that, though.
Locked it.
Why not? Why
Because
not?
they're not going to put two up-and-coming prospects against
no,
each
them
other.
dudes got 6 fights apiece before they fight each other.
Yeah,
Who
bro.
wins, the bull in the china shop or the counter striker, the sharpshooter?
I mean, they both sharpshooters.
Vinny, what you got?
Yeah, all I gotta say is Ian Gary, man. This is McGregor of the future. He's got the Spanish girl Machado last name. What else can you do? And then of course he's gonna strike him out. I say knockout first round, man. I don't think this guy. What's his name? Simon? No, Simeon. What's his name?
Fuck it, bro. You don't even know who he's fighting.
I know he's a Chinese guy. I'm sorry, I can't say his name. I just gotta say
Kanan
Kanan. It's
Song.
been
Sung Sung
Song. I'm sorry,
Kanan.
Kanan's Song. That's what it is. Sorry,
The
escaped me.
assassin.
Okay, so like, and I don't know who said it. I think it was Andrew or Trace that said that he. I mean, he's all right, but at the same time, he's gotten knocked out a couple of times. So I don't know. I think this is an easy one. Ian Gary.
Hey, are we overlooking Song, man? Because if this dude pull it off, man, we're gonna
Shut
be
the fuck
stupid.
up, bro. We overlooking Song, bro. Come on, bro.
But hey,
Laugh.
but D
We
baby, D
going to the
baby,
next fight
D
right
baby,
now.
you can't force it. I don't know, guys, man. It's gotta be legit and honest.
Man,
Yeah,
you
I
can
don't.
sit around and tell ghost stories all night, but there's just doesn't make them true. Listen, next fight up is Julian Marquez versus Marc Andre. Someone say it,
Barrio,
Barriel. That's it. Julian is 6'2" with a 72-inch reach. Marc Andre is 6'1" with a 64-inch reach. Many people in these spaces have been vocal about the guy who has a little more reach with a little less height. Julian lands at about 4 significant strikes per minute. Marc Andre lands at over 5. Julian absorbs at almost 4 per minute. Marc Andre absorbs at almost 5 per minute. Neither guy really shoots for takedowns. If it does go to the ground, Julian Marquez does throw up submissions. Has 0 takedowns per 15 minutes average, though, so he does not initiate the takedown. Both guys coming off of losses. This fight, the only note that I have is Marc Andre or Julian Marquez says he was put on this card because they want to make sure people are entertained. So, with that
Did he
said,
see the rest of the card or not?
so with that said, I'm on the inside the distance. Tape was on, I think, Dead Picks, who hasn't even fucking spoken all night. Is he
Hi.
there?
No, I'm here. Yeah, I just
Dead
man.
Picks, what's good, bud?
Man, I was like rushing like a child, trying to do his homework, like right before he has to hand it into the teacher, like in class. Like that's what the what do you call it? This felt like, man,
So
bro.
hot off the presses, he just finished taping it like 38 seconds ago.
Oh,
What
we
you
got
got?
it, bro. We got it. We got it
Bro,
remote,
that describes like my whole 4 years of high school, man.
bro. Just lately, bro. My schedule has been whack, but I'm fixing it, bro. I'm literally just trying to get the sleep down. But anyways, all right. So I'm gonna side with Julian Marquez on the count that he opened up as the favorite, and now he is the underdog. Um, I I I kind of didn't really like what I seen from Mark Andrew Barreau. He really just like he presses you forward with a jab, and he just keeps you in the back of the cage. But he doesn't really do much. He's not like a ferocious or like a dangerous striker. He just keeps you in the back, and he just scores his points. He has some decent head movement. For a guy that's not really known for his striking. Um, he did get knocked out by Cheaty, because of a stupid naked kick. Like I don't like when people do these naked kicks, and that fight, proved why you shouldn't do that. Um, yeah, Anthony Hernandez, what do you call it? He got just absolutely like wrestle fucked, and I know what do you call it? Julian's not going to be shooting the takedowns, but Julian will. He if he was in that position, he would have more heart. Mark just didn't show like any resistance. Like he was just there, to be, brought down the whole time, and it was bad. Julian, like at least when you take him down, like in that Maki Patola fight, he shows that he's trying to get back up. He's trying to. He's trying to survive. He's not just just gonna give himself up to you. He found the round 3 sub in that fight because Maki was just so tired, from wrestling him for like the first 2 rounds. Those first 2 rounds, it was very bad for Julie. It didn't look good.
up until that round 3 where he had his best moments and miraculously found a sub because of just the gas tank on Maki. I like Julian Marquez as my pick. I'm gonna take him. On probably my prop would be. I could see this even going over. I'm not sure about the inside of distance. If it does happen, the inside of distance, it will be it will be Julian. I guess super prop will be Julian sub, and that's what I'm gonna be riding with this fight.
Nice breakdown, bud. Nice breakdown. Anybody else on this fight? Yeah, I didn't think this would be a real popular one. Let me finish taking down his picks here so that I got them recorded.
And no look for the Powerball. I mean, what's the name? Power bar, whatever.
Power powder
Super
puff,
bet.
the powder puff. All right, next on deck we got. Let me see who's gonna. Is this the Cody Garbrandt fight next yet?
No, it's Amanda Hibas.
Oh Jesus, fucking!
Just skip it. We won't tell anybody.
Someone had to do tape work on this shit too. That's the worst.
I had some
Dead pick.
slight notes on this.
All right. So Viviana Araujo versus Amanda Ribas. Araujo is 11-4. Ribas is 10-3. Araujo is 5-4. Ribas is 5-3. Araujo has 68 inches reach. Ribas has 66 inches reach. So Araujo is an inch taller and 2 inches longer. These women throw. They both land at over 4.5 significant strikes per minute. Araujo, however, absorbs at over 5 per minute, while Ribas only absorbs at 2.5 per minute. Ribas has a very high striking defense at 70%. Both women average about 2 takedowns per 15 minutes. Ribas averages a submission per 15 minutes, where Araujo averages none. Both coming off losses to Grasso for Araujo, and Ribas is coming off of a loss to Chukagian. My notes for this fight, I got to switch over, guys. Sorry, I've only got 4 screens here, so I'm somewhat limited. Yeah, I have fucking none, so that's great for me. Dead picks, what you got?
Yeah, so I highlighted this fight. I didn't really dig deep into this one. What do you call it? If you go on Odd Sharks, you'll see that Amanda opened up as a heavy minus 250 favorite, and now she's down to minus 122. What do you call it? And Vivian Araujo was a plus 180 dog, and now she's down to a plus 102 dog. So it's got down to a near pick'em. What do you call it? I would probably side with Vivian Araujo just because she has a good takedown defense. If you see an Amanda's Ribas, what do you call it? When I was watching back, she didn't really have the best striking, but she did have good striking output. She had good cardio, and if she was to try to win this fight, I'd suggest that she probably try to keep it a decision like on the outside. I wouldn't try to get in there and try to give heavy exchanges because I think Vivian does probably have the more dangerous strikes, finishes. I know she's a grappler at heart, and I know her cardio's not that good. What do you call it? I know I know what do you call it? If she starts to struggle, it probably is gonna lean towards Amanda's. What do you call it? During round 2, round 3. So I think if depending on what do you call it, what happens after round 1, I think it might be a good spot maybe for a live bet even. If you see that Amanda's not what do you call it, if you think she'll be able to survive round 1 and what do you call it, be able to show a good striking output and try to stay away from the dangerous attacks, try to stay away from even getting a sub, then I would say probably bet Amanda live, but I'm gonna stick with Vivian just on the account that I like her what do you call it, her defense from the takedowns, and I like that she has more power in her shots. So I'm gonna just take Vivian.
I'm taking Ribas by KO, by the way. Average, what you got?
I've got Amanda Hibas. I think she's looked really good in her fights at 125. I believe she came was short notice, yeah.
I don't know, but the size difference there is was far more substantial as well.
Yeah, and she looked good despite the loss, in my opinion. I think that she's the younger fighter. She's definitely the hungrier fighter, and like I said, I think she's looked really, really good at 125. So I've got Amanda probably by sub round 2, I'd say.
Is she gonna stick with the flyweight division?
I think she should.
Because I don't want her doing this Jessica Andrade shit where she's just bouncing up and down, like trying. Because it's clear, like Dana and them are trying to push her. It's pretty clear. I mean, I don't blame them, but it's like they're treating her like Jessica Andrade. It's like, okay, we know you're good. We're gonna try to just fit you into this fucking puzzle, but we don't know where to put you. We're just
Yeah, I
gonna
know.
keep trying back and forth until it sticks.
I know. Just on sort of on that topic. What's her name? She just fought the undefeated fighter. I can't believe I'm forgetting her name.
What kind of shit is that? She just fought the
Tatiana
undefeated fighter.
Suarez. She's ranked at strawweight after winning at 125.
Well, I don't ever give a shit about the rankings
Well,
because they're marketing.
Suarez might as well have been the number one contender whenever she got hurt. Like
Yeah,
Listen,
but you brought up Jessica Andrade. Jessica
listen, bro.
Andrade
I
is
think
fighting
my
at 125, and she wants a title shot at 115. So
I think
I
my
completely agree with you. It's a joke.
I think my Tatiana Suarez fandom will soon reach John Jones levels. So I don't want to talk about this. I don't. I'm just calling
I'd
it
say
what
that's
it
fair
is.
though. I'm pretty passionate about her
Thank you,
fight.
Joe.
So
And I
I
fucking
mean, I
met
should
her.
have my tongue cut off for forgetting her name.
Yeah, you should. All right, we're gonna laugh that shit out. We'll call that one pretty quick. I'm not gonna invite a whole bunch of talk on it. Sorry, guys, just not gonna do it. The next fight, however, Dricus du Plessis versus Derek Brunson. This is a fight I am fucking excited about.
Joe,
Both
you
guys,
said his name correctly, man. I'm proud of you.
bro. I can say most of these names right if I have my glasses on tonight. That I'm not fucking around either. I'm wearing my glasses, so I can see it. Normally, I write all this shit with my glasses, and I'm like, fuck them glasses. I hate them, right? And I don't wear them. I have my glasses on tonight.
You're
So,
lucky. You have a choice whether to wear them or not. I have to wear mine constantly.
no, I don't. I'm fucking blind, but fuck it, man. I squint, and then usually Marin does this shit. Marin's not here, bro. I gotta wear my glasses. All right, Derek Brunson, 6'1", Dricus du Plessis, 6'1", Brunson, 77 inches reach, du Plessis, 76 inches reach. So pretty even as far as squaring up. But when they square up, I assure you, Dracus will look like the bigger guy. I just assure you that he will. Both guys, Dracus, Brunson's got probably a dozen plus fights on his UFC record. Dracus has 4, but those are enough to come up with some reasonable stats. Strikes landed per minute, significant strikes landed per minute, rather. Brunson is at 3.5. Dracus is at 6.6. That's a really high clip, guys. I don't know. Whoever's listening to this, if you don't look at stats all the time, landing 6.6 significant strikes per minute is a very high clip. Brunson absorbs at just about 3. Dracus absorbs at almost 4. Both guys have a striking defense of 52%. Both guys average almost exactly 3.2 takedowns per 15 minutes. Dracus actually averages more submissions at attempts at 1.2 per 15 minutes, where Brunson has only averaged 0.6 over his career. I'm very high on Dracus. I have been for a while. Dracus du Plessis, inside the distance. KO finish is my pick. I'm pretty stout on that one. I've been high on him for a while, so maybe I'm biased, but he is bigger, stronger, faster, 10 years younger. This is his fight to win. Who's on tape? Is this Trace?
yeah, it's me.
Go ahead, bud.
All right, so Derek Brunson, the D2 All American wrestler, who basically fell in love with his overhand right, or his overhand punches, much like T Wood. Super explosive takedown attempts early, has strong and albeit sloppy overhand. While he rather, while he's a good wrestler, he uses more brute strength rather than technique for his takedowns, which is why I think he fades so hard after the first round or two, depending on the pace. and his success on his takedown attempts. The biggest thing I noticed is Brunson isn't willing to go through hell to win. And let's be honest, if you're fighting Dricus du Plessis, he's going to put you through hell. Dricus is definitely the stronger fighter of the two. He's all out pressure, always coming forward to do damage. People like to harp on his gas tank because of how heavy he breathes, but the guy has an insane number of output, as Joe just mentioned. My one concern for him is that he does shell up when people are landing flurries on him, which I don't love because obviously these are little gloves and punches get through. I do think Brunson is able to get a takedown maybe in the first round. If he doesn't get the blow, if he doesn't, he blows his wad trying to get him down, and eventually Dricus will start to land. Probably landing heavy blows at that on the nearly 40-year-old Brunson. And let's face it, if he he breaks and he quits if he doesn't get flatlined. So I do like Dricus to be the winner here. The pick is Dricus. The prop is inside the distance, and I do like for the super prop. I like du Plessis round 2. I think he gets him out of there. I think, like I said, I think Brunson's able to get him down or at least tie him up to not be able to land big strikes in the first round. But after that, he's going to gas out, and I think it's just a matter of time before he clubs and subs or just knocks him out. So yeah, that's what I got. I don't have the numbers on these lines because on DraftKings they're not out yet. But once I do, I will definitely be throwing these in the little parlay, little high stakes parlay. You know what I'm saying?
So you're on Dracus. The prop is the KO. The super prop is round 2.
KO prop is inside the distance, so KO or sub, and then super prop is du Plessis round 2.
Very nice. Very nice. Average. Go ahead. And that was a nice
Um,
breakdown, Trace. Go ahead.
I got another. Oh, it's just another simple one, isn't it? Like I think Dricus right now just looks like a freaking world beater, doesn't he? I noticed like the thing with Brunson when he can't land his takedowns, it's sort of like his motivation it just disappears, and he just gets beat up. Like you look at his fight with Cannonier, when once he couldn't take him down, he just got cracked, and then the fight was over. Honestly, I think if he can't take down Dricus, I think Dricus is just going to beat him up and beat him up pretty badly. I don't see this fight going the distance at all. I think Dricus, like I said, he's looking like an absolute world beater right now.
I will say this: his 50% takedown defense, Dricus's, is misleading. That's like 2 takedown attempts. So he blocked one and got taken down on the other one. So and those weren't against high level wrestlers. So he can be taken down, which is why I think he might get taken down. But I don't think there's a chance other than him catching him with some brutal grounding pound or a big overhand sloppy right. Other than that, I don't think he can win. Go ahead, Zaza. What you got?
I'm on the same page as all you guys. It's definitely the pluses here. I also heard earlier that what's his name? Brunson had contemplated retiring after this fight. I don't know if you guys heard that or
He
anyone.
Yeah, I
already
heard he
did
said he had
retire
two left.
once, didn't he?
I heard it.
I thought he said he wanted one last run, so I think maybe one more loss he quits. But I think if he wins, he probably tries to keep going.
Maybe if he wins in good fashion.
Just
Well, I
remember,
mean, let's be honest. The fight style matches up. He's either going to win in dominating fashion or get probably beat in dominant fashion. I mean, this fight. There's low chance of this going to a decision because
Stop.
Brunson doesn't
He's
have
not winning in dominant
Brunson doesn't have
fashion.
the gas tank.
just remember, man, Dricus loves to leave his chin up, just like Patty. It's coming. It may not even be this fight, but it's
Yeah,
coming.
but no,
It's
he's definitely a
fucking
fade for
coming.
the future. Like I'm not as high on him as Joe is for certain. Like I do think he fights a good striker. Like Izzy tears that dude apart. Like I mean, anybody that's a good counter is gonna destroy that guy. But for this fight, I think he's in a good spot.
I think it's a good
I
test
think
for him. I think
yeah, I
it's
think it's
gonna.
another
I think
build-up spot.
it's gonna show where he's at.
It's the classic out with the old, in with the new. They're gonna kill off the old line to bring in the new line.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
All right, Joe. I think anybody else got anything on this?
I hope not. I'm going to lap that shit out. We're making pretty decent time tonight.
I
All
would
right.
appreciate an argument back on the other side, though. Just to give everybody like, oh yeah, I didn't think about it that way.
Oh
But
yeah,
hey, if we ain't got
40-year-old
it, we ain't
Derek,
got it.
40-year-old Derek Brunson is gonna wrestle 29-year-old young, healthy strapping lad, Dracus Duplessis.
Strap it.
Yeah.
You okay?
Bro,
Hide your
don't.
record, sir.
Yo, I'm telling you, man. Like, it's funny because everything that you guys are saying is exactly why I wouldn't take Brunson, because I love fading those older vets, and I still probably will. But again, Dricus hasn't faced a fucking wrestler like Derek Brunson, and he always leaves his chin
But
up.
Derek
Don't
Brunson
get me
has faced
wrong.
a
I will say
striker like
this.
Duplessis, and you know what he did? He got knocked the fuck out.
I mean, it is still blonde. It is still blonde Brunson though.
Yeah, and
Do
Von
do
Brunson
do
got
with
elbowed to
do,
oblivion by Jared
yeah.
Kennedy.
Do with
He,
that what you will, but I won't be putting my money on blonde Brunson. That whole blonde era has done died out, man, just like the '90s.
The fuck out of here with that. The money is on Dracus, I am telling you, boys. Anyways, I'm going to skip over to Cody Garbrandt and Trevin Jones. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and read the tail of the tape first. Cody Garbrandt, 5'8", 65 inches of reach. Trevin Jones is 5'7", with 70 inches of reach. That is quite an advantage, 5 inches reach. Trevin lands at just over 2 significant strikes per minute. Cody lands at just over 3. Both guys absorb at over 4. Like, fucking red alert sign number 1 when you are looking at stats to try to cap fights. When people get hit more than they land, it is a fucking problem. Both of these guys have this problem. Cody does have better striking defense, significantly better at 60%, where Trevin is only at 40%. I mean, Cody averages 1 takedown per 15 minutes, and Trevin averages a half a takedown per 15 minutes. But there's just no way this fight goes to the ground. Please understand, in their last 10 fights combined, they have 2 wins, 1 each. I think this will be a fun fight
Yikes.
to watch. I think that Trevin probably actually has the edge because of the reach. I'm adding this to my prop parlay inside the distance. Not picking a fighter. I'm just picking this fight to end inside the distance. Who had tape on this fight?
I did.
Usman. Go ahead, bud.
All right, guys. I'm real torn on this one. Right here, what I got from the notes: Jones can press forward, and he usually does when it's in a blitz combo. But he loves to concede to any amount of pressure, and fight off the back foot, even with his back off the cage. He seems to only have 2 strikes that land. It's going to be his lead right hook and the straight left that follows up the rare jab. Without too much thought into Jones' career, I thought, oh, he was probably just some shitty striker. But after watching all of his fights, I kind of give him a little bit of credit in the IQ sense of when he knows to clinch when shit's getting too hairy, or try to at least attempt a takedown just to slow down the pace of the fight, because he basically gives up the pace to anybody that wants to put it on him. Um, with that being said, though, the biggest problem in his game is volume. He doesn't throw enough. When he decides to use his IQ, it's too late. He can get a takedown late in the round or just get a lot of clinch control, but it doesn't matter. We saw in the second round of his fight with Saeed Kakramanov, he had, I think, maybe like 3 minutes of control, but he literally just held on to a leg up against the fence and let Saeed just punch him in the face, I think, 15 times without doing anything. Um, I really, it seems like it would be easily like, oh, it's Cody. It's Cody all the time. Every single time that Trevin Jones has had a fight, it's been to lift off Tamir Valiv or lift off Mario Bautista or Saeed Yukov. It's always been he's been a step up for everybody else. But one thing that I just cannot get away from is that go back to any Cody Garbrandt fight, any of his losses, it's always the right hook. He's only fought orthodox fighters his whole career. His last southpaw fighter was his debut against Marcus Brimage. So he hasn't seen that literally his whole UFC career, and that's the only punch Trevin Jones has. I really hate this one. I'm picking Cody. I actually think the bet will be over 2.5, because I think Cody also likes to give up space and shoot from the outside. And I think if he actually does wrestle, it'll benefit him because it'll just slow down Trevin, and Trevin's not going to do anything. He's going to be able to win rounds there. I think betting over 2.5 is probably the best bet because I don't want to lean either way. I took the prop Trevin KO and Trevin KO 3 for the super prop.
Usman, I think we just became best friends because I have the same read on the over as well, man.
So
Good
you
shit.
said
Good shit.
bet the over 2.5. What were the props, Bob?
Trevin KO and Trevin Jones round 3 KO.
Got it. Typing those in real quick. Okay. All right, beautiful. That was a nice breakdown. Everybody's breakdowns have been real nice tonight. I know I don't stamp on it every time. I don't want to be redundant for the people that are listening, but everybody's killing it tonight. Average, go ahead.
I'm so conflicted on this one. I mean, I'm a big Cody fan. I don't know about you guys, but Cody, he has, I don't want to say the word potential because he was a champion, but he has the potential to be great, you know, but because how many times on paper is he better than all of his opponents, and he just goes in there and he just loads up and he just does the stupid shit that we all know that he does, right? Um, that's what I actually put a poll up on my Twitter who people were picking to win this fight. For the longest time, it was actually 50-50. And now Cody is like 59-41 or something like that. Um, to me, this fight play. To me, this fight will play out. It's up to Cody how this fight plays out. If Cody's smart, then Cody wins easy. If Cody's dumb, then he's unconscious again, isn't he? So I'm picking Cody, but it's very, very reluctant on my part.
Kane.
Yo, yeah, I gave up on Cody a long ass time ago. I'm not gonna lie. It seems like any time I ever had faith in him, I was end up disappointed. Um, I
I was
literally picked,
heartbroken when Ronda Yaya fight got called off.
yeah, I literally picked Cody fights by basically picking whoever Cody's fighting. So I think Jones is gonna end up knocking Cody unconscious. Kind of a caveman sounding prediction, but that's kind of how I feel when it comes to Cody now.
Off
I
topic though, did you guys see the memes of him, Cody Garbrandt versus John Jones? Because Trevin's last name is Jones, so they started making Cody Garbrandt versus John Jones memes. Those were freaking hilarious.
No, but I've told this story. Everybody, all the regulars have heard it, but I've met Cody, and I told Cody, I said, "Hey, man, you're my wife's favorite fighter." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Yes." Every time you fight, I tell her boyfriend's fighting, and me and him had a laugh together. I did not tell him the part of the story where every time he gets knocked out, I have a laugh, and she tells me he's cute. Never said he was a good fighter. So, all right. Anybody else got anything on this one before I push on?
I loved Usman's read, man. Everyone thinks this is just going to be like some barn burner fight. I don't think it is going to be that way. I think they're both going to start out, fairly cautious. I think both of them are going to shoot for takedowns at some point. Cody has kind of shown that in his last two fights against Font and Kai Kara France that he wants to include the wrestling a little bit more because he realizes his chin's giving out. And
The
I think
takedown against Kai was more of a panic takedown, though.
What was that?
The takedown he landed on Kai was more of a panic takedown.
Yeah, but he was shooting early too. He just couldn't get it. But I think he's smart in doing that because he's trying not to get fucking clipped. And Trevin likes to wrestle too. So I think this shit's going over, bro.
Yeah, and Yeah, and that was one thing. It was like, I'll speak for myself and thinking like I kind of had a thought of Cody Garbrandt, and then going back and watching all the tape, I'm just like, wait, no, he doesn't really press forward all that much. He'll let you take some of the space, and when Jones does that as well, if not, he's just pressing forward with combos. I think we might just see Jones pressing into him to where we get some clinching up against the fence, or hopefully Garbrandt tries to use some wrestling.
I don't know, boys. I'm not gonna doubt the read. I didn't do the tape work, so but
Hey, wait.
I'm definitely putting this one inside the distance on my deal. So I'm gonna move next because we have made the guy who ran the tape repeat himself. So we're gonna march on. Up next is the Bo Nickel Jamie Pickett fight. Man, I don't even. Okay, so Bo Nickel is 6'1", Jamie Pickett is 6'2". Bo Nickel has 76 inches reach. Bo Nickel has 80 inches reach. They both have landed. I mean the numbers don't matter. Bo Nickel has like 3 minutes in the octagon, and the fucking statistics are way crazy. On paper, he has 100% takedown defense, and they both land at 3.5 strikes per minute. But if you look at the stats, Bo Nickel is throwing up enough submissions that in his short period of time in the octagon, he is averaging 23.68 submission attempts per 15 minutes and averaging 23.7 submission attempts. Oh, takedown average is 23 and submissions attempts is 23. So like the rate that he's charging out there to do it, I seen this line at as crazy as minus 1400. I
Bro,
mean,
who the fuck is Khabib? I want this dude.
yeah. So um, I will say this. I'd like Jamie Pickett to be the biggest upset in UFC history by like just absolutely starching him in one punch. Just for the sake of fuck it. Why not? Like it would be fun to see, but no way. Just no way whatsoever. Fight definitely ends inside the distance. I'm on Nickel. Um, Whoever the poor soul is that had to actually waste their time watching tape on this fight.
I was gonna say
Uh,
I feel sorry for the poor son of a bitch who had to tape this.
Dead picks. What's happening, bud?
Man, I didn't tape. Now I'm playing what it called. All I really did was watch Jamie fucking Pickett's fight against Dawkins and Tulin, and that was really enough that I needed to see for me to know that Bo Nickel was gonna win. I mean, the guy's already fucking minus 1400 favorite. Like at this point, it's just deciding what props you're gonna play on Bo Nickel. So what do you call? If anything, you would probably shout out to Javi. I know he was on this. I know he bet the under for Bo Nickel. And what do you call my super prop would probably be even decision, man. Because like even I was thinking it, and Wes pointed it out in the chat. You know, who's to say? You know, what if Bonica, just tells his boys, "Hey, go bet my decisions." Because everyone's gonna be expecting the unders, the inside the distance. Who's to say Bonica just won't drag it out? Do some CM Punk shit that what do you call it? That one guy did to what was his fucking name? Johnson, whatever. What do you call? He just beat him up for like 15 minutes. Didn't finish him, just kept him, alive just enough. So who knows? Maybe sprinkle that decision on Bo, if anything. If you have the capital, if you don't want to, then just take him inside the distance or the under. So yeah, it's really up to it.
Yeah, can I comment?
Who said what?
Can I make a comment? Can I talk about the Bo Nickel fight? Is that all right?
Yeah, go
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
ahead.
you're good. You're
yeah,
good.
go ahead.
Basically, all right. I don't know if you guys watched both of his Contender Series fights. So the first guy, Bo Nickel, finished in like a minute and like 2 seconds, and then the second guy, he literally finished him in like 50 seconds. And the thing that sticks out about Bo Nickel, I don't know how much of his career, how much of his flow grappling matches you guys have watched, but Bo Nickel has excellent high level jiu-jitsu to complement his wrestling. Okay. He went up against Gordon Ryan, who's right now pound for pound the best jiu-jitsu practitioner in the world. He got put in a triangle and, he got finished. Absolutely no shame. He literally fought the best jiu-jitsu guy in the world. The point of
Not only that, it was in the last 2 minutes of the final round. It was a tied matchup until then.
and so Bo Nickel has, he has something that a lot of wrestlers just don't have, which is extremely high level, slick jiu-jitsu. And it's like if you really watch that fight in the fights in the Contender Series, he locked up that I think he got him with the triangle, I think, but then he also like got the arm and like he like had an arm bar in there too. He literally locked up like two submissions in one, and it was very fast, very slick. And the play I like for this fight, which is actually a plus money play, which is what I think is actually going to happen, is I don't know if you guys have access to DraftKings, but DraftKings has like an alternative unders and overs under point 0.5. That means that the fight won't go past 2 minutes and 50 and 30 seconds of the first round. It's plus 205. I think that's totally going to happen. I think.
Yeah, I called that for the Machado fight earlier for Ian Gary as well.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but maybe it might hit. I might be totally wrong, but I'm super confident in this. Like Jamie Pickett, very nice guy. I feel bad for him because he had to fight in the Contender Series 3 times to get into the UFC. Got in there, had a win or two, and now they're feeding him to Bo Nickel. But respectfully, I think Bo Nickel is gonna he's gonna submit him in like a minute or like a minute and 30 seconds, or he might finish him on the feet, man.
I do love that prop for this fight though. That's some good shit signature.
Yeah, that's a good line on that prop. Average, what you got?
So I obviously I've got Bo Nickel. A funny thing, I saw this clip on Twitter. Like there's like those YouTube breakdown guys who like go into like massive depth of like they do their picks. They give a little breakdown of why they're picking a certain way. All this guy said was Jamie Pickett versus Bo Nickel, and Bo wins. That's all he said. He gave one sentence as to. And I found that pretty funny. I actually got a question. Where does Bo Nickel go after this fight? Assuming he wins, what do the UFC do with Bo Nickel?
Probably shoot him straight into the top 15 and give him a top 15 opponent to go against to continue the ascension. It just depends on how fast they want to progress him, really.
They're gonna give him the Sean O'Malley treatment. And they're gonna feed him another can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's been fighting nothing but cans, bro. Like those first few fights that he had, like his first two fights, like those guys, like if you just go and see what they were doing, like after this fight, like they weren't doing shit. Only guy that he fought was like the first guy that he knocked out in Jorge Masvidal's promotion. That guy had some amateur background, but I watched back some of his amateur tape, and it was atrocious. Like I can't believe that guy was pro, but I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? But yeah, Bo Nickel's been fighting nothing but cans. This is gonna be like his, I guess, first real UFC test. So we'll see.
Yeah,
First
I'd say
legit
Jamie
fighter.
Pickett's like middle of the pack, right?
What?
I don't know about middle of the pack. D baby, what you got?
I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but me and Wes was talking and shit. It's not far fetched, so I'm just saying y'all be careful with the unders, cause Bo Nickel might drag it out so he can put money in his homies' pockets on the over. So.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I said earlier too, man. Just worst case,
Oh,
bro.
you
Just do a
said
little
that? Oh,
sprinkle, just
I didn't catch that. My bad.
yeah.
I was losing connection and shit, so I didn't hear you say it. But yeah,
No, all good, all good.
yeah, I just be careful. But I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but you just never know. Like, cause this dude's lines be super juice, and he gonna look out for his homies too. So yeah.
Yeah, but to be honest, bro, I've watched some film on Bo and not fight film, like behind the scenes, like embedded style shit. His ego's too big for that, bro. This dude wants 10 finishes with like 10 total fucking minutes in the
Bo
octagon.
Nickel does not.
His
He does
ego.
not strike me as the type of guy to do something like that. Like he has like too much to lose, and he's too much of a winner in life to do something so stupid like that.
I mean,
Honestly,
still gonna get the win. Shit, it's a win-win. Him and his homies. Shit, fuck it.
I will say though, I think his striking needs some work. That massive overhand that he flung in his Contender Series fight, that looked a bit iffy to me.
Yo, speaking of his homies, up and coming, I think he's gonna be a heavyweight. Anthony Casser, that's his homeboy, and that dude is a man to watch. He is going to be a legit problem in the heavyweight division when he gets to the UFC. Penn State wrestler, dude's nasty.
What's his name? I'm gonna look him up.
Anthony Casser,
Hey, DM me that. Yeah,
Cassar.
DM me that. I ain't gonna remember that.
All right, I got
For
you.
sure. Good looking.
I'll take one too.
Anybody else on this fight?
So I just want to DM with that name as well.
Is anyone on JB Pickett? No, I'm just kidding.
Man, somebody come up here and argue for Jamie, please.
Jamie a lot, bro. Jamie a lot, bro.
Hey, we got Liam Picks in here, man. He's got a good mind. Follow him.
Yeah, he does.
Liam, what
Oh
you?
man, you know what? I think him and his homeboys got shouted out on Ariel's show for a good slip. Him and his buddies. I think Connor Burks actually named a couple of them. It was a pretty cool
I
little
mean, guys,
moment for like.
he's been on the space with us before. He was on here with Gordo.
Yeah, I
All
know
right,
who Liam is. That just happened though. That just happened this week. I don't even know if they know yet. Like
Oh
VB
man,
Bevy got
Liam is.
mentioned.
Like I said, I can't imagine you're not following Liam already, but he is definitely Liam. A good must follow. He also competes, throws up his videos, does pretty nasty stuff in jiu-jitsu.
all right, Liam. How does Jamie Pickett get it done?
Yeah, I did not come up to defend the honor of Jamie Pickett, boys. I hate to tell you. I did come up to say that Anthony Cassar truly is the next prospect to watch. He's the last guy to beat Gable Stevenson in college wrestling, which, if you guys don't know who that is, he's probably the best prospect in college wrestling, like, period.
Yeah, he
He went to
transitioned
the
over to
WWE,
professionally.
but I mean, if he came to MMA today, he'd be a fucking problem as well. Extremely athletic heavyweight, and Kassar was able to beat him on more than one occasion, stunned him the first time they met, and then beat him again when Gable prepared for it. So Gable's one of the best that we have to offer in this country, and Kassar was able to beat him. That's a fucking huge statement. And I think that in terms of athleticism at heavyweight, it's uncommon to see really athletic heavyweights, and he's one of them. So watch that space. Great call.
I have reached out to him. Unfortunately, I have not received a response, but I have tried to get him on here, and I would love to have him on here to talk to him. And just talk about Bo Nickel. I mean, he gives us not only we learn about him, but gives us a little info on Bo. And hell, maybe we could even, if we get him, coax Bo into coming, that'd be cool. But he is definitely, I think he is the future. I mean, I think John Jones will be leaving, and he'll be coming in, and then it's going to be him for a long time, man. He's a better wrestler than Blades, and the only people that beat Blades is the big power punchers. But I'm getting off topic here. But yeah, Anthony Cassar, and his @ is ant underscore the champ.
Hey, is he fighting this week?
Damn, he got underscore. Damn, that's still a nice one though. At underscore the champ.
I
All
don't
right.
think he's fighting this week, but he's Bo's number one training partner.
Hey,
So
so he got
they work
hands.
out
He
together.
he can fight though, or he just a good wrestler.
I have seen his fight. He knocked somebody out, if I remember right. It's been a while since I watched it, but he did
It
finish
was
her.
Jorge.
He was
It
fighting,
was
but he
Jorge Masvidal's promotion.
yeah, he's pretty nice, man. I mean, he's still pretty raw, but I mean, that's the biggest thing. The training and the discipline you get from wrestling. That's why they have so much success in MMA, because it's just a natural transition for him. I think he lines up perfectly if he does decide to keep continue this way and not going to like a professional route like Stevenson did, like the WWE or whatever organization he's with. I do think he runs that division for a long time. Like, he's the first real legit athlete that division will have, other than John Jones. And yeah, I mean, the striking will come. If you can wrestle, you can strike, man. It's just a matter of learning.
See,
All
the only
right.
open question with Bo Nickel that's really an open question is we've never seen him take a flush shot. That's the only thing. Like, he might have a great chin, he might have a terrible chin, but it's just a glaring open question that we genuinely don't know. So that's the only thing as far as I'm concerned about Bo Nickel.
That's why I said it'd be nice to see Jamie get the upset because Jamie's a cool guy, but that's just not gonna happen. All right. Up next, we have Maytu Gamrot and Jalen Turner. Tail of the tape. Gamrot is 5'10", 70 inches reach. Turner is 6'3", 77 inches reach. That's 5 inches of height, 7 inches of reach. Both guys fight southpaw. Um, Gamrot is 21-2. Turner is 13-5. Turner does land at a very high clip. He's on a 5 or 6 fight winning streak. He lands at 6.5 significant strikes per minute. Gamrot lands at just over 3 significant strikes per minute. Gamrot's going to be strong in the takedowns, though. He's averaging almost 5 takedowns per 15 minutes. No submission attempts, though. Jalen averages 2 submission attempts per 15 minutes while only averaging 1 takedown. My notes on this fight probably aren't that deep, to be honest. If I have any No, I don't. Who was on tape for this fight?
That
Fucking
would be
crickets in
me.
here.
I
Rhino, lucky you. What's happening, buddy?
I didn't realize I picked this fight.
Hey, you got some funny come through on your mic right now.
Okay.
Sound like a robot.
Fan in the mic or something.
How about now?
Yeah, you
Same.
still.
Oh dear God. How about now?
Does anybody else have a view on this? Like, why he gets his
Is
shit
that
lined up?
Darth Vader?
Can you hear me now?
The rookie's over there getting his stuff together. Anybody else on this fight?
Do you have us coming through another speaker? It sounds like you're having backfeed coming through
I see
too.
it going either way.
Let me connect.
Same.
I agree with the baby on that one.
I just want to say I'm disappointed that Daniel Hooker's got injured, but as the resident Aussie Kiwi of these spaces, thank God Jalen Turner's leaving us alone.
Yeah, I can kind of touch
I'll
on
see,
this
I'll
one
see, I'll
for
see.
while he gets his shit lined out. I can touch on it while he's getting lined out.
I was gonna say I can't too. Go ahead, Trace.
From what I noticed, Jalen Turner has a nasty body kick, man, and what we've seen is Mateus Gamrot be susceptible to body shots and get hurt to the body. I think Jalen Turner can land them knees in the clinch because Gamrot is going to clinch to try to take him down. I didn't watch any tape on this. This is just going off the fly, so I'm sorry if I'm wrong on a few things. But I do think Jalen Turner he gets Turner in the clinch, and he can throw knees from the clinch and hurt Gamrot and lead to a ground and pound finish. Not necessarily that way, but I do see Jalen Turner winning this fight by finish. We've seen Mateus Gamrot get rocked in the past. I think he got rocked twice against Benny. Um, yeah, man, give me Turner. I don't know what the line is. I haven't looked at this fight at all, but you ready, Rhino?
Well, I'm on the flip side of that. On a quick rundown, I'm actually on Gamrot. I feel like the problem everybody's having here right now is that everybody really likes Jalen Turner. I mean, I know he beat Riddell and beat Malarkey, and beat Medic. Like, I get it. It's not like he has no resume behind him. But Gamrot is Gamrot, man, and he's gonna do what Gamrot
Yeah,
does.
he's coming in on short notice, bro. You got to take that into account too. I mean, short
I,
notice fighters very rarely win.
yeah, I mean, I'll give you that. Like, on that edge alone, maybe, but I still favor Gamrot, man. A dude that can go 4 rounds with Beneil and take Beneil Dariush down 4 times, bro, is definitely going to take down Jalen Turner and do whatever the fuck he wants with him, in my opinion. Yeah, that's just my opinion. We got Rhino requesting to get back on the mic, and he did tape.
Yep, he's
Rhino,
good.
you there?
Rhino, you good?
I think finally. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good,
All
brother. Go
right.
ahead.
So
You're
I
clear.
hooked up my
Absolutely.
fucking dear God. Okay, so I watched a bunch of
Whatever,
these
old man.
fights.
Tell us the
I
tape.
watched a bunch of these fights. I turned into a robot. But Turner, with his size and how much he takes his time, and I really like that towards guys who are going to fight somebody like Game Rot that are going to try and do that lay and pray style of fighting, where they are just really basing everything off of the takedown. I mean, sometimes they can, land some decent strikes, but in all reality, their game plan is get it to the ground, throw the guy off, and decision is an okay thing. When it comes to Turner, he's got that long, lengthy body. He's uses a lot of good takedown defense pretty quick with just whizzers and stuff like that. From watching over his some of his fights, I got like he hits really hard, and he's always going to land solid on a lot of these guys. And when Game Rat is going to just depend on his wrestling, that's kind of tough to do against a guy who's got all this reach advantage, this height. I mean, throughout his fights, when he fights guys, Turner fights guys like Malarkey, uh, he just completely destroyed him. Stopped his takedowns, he pieced him up. Uh, when you go to his losses, Vicente, he kind of got caught. He did a spinning back, like elbow and got caught on the button, and Vicente just exploded as soon as it hit the ground. So it's not like he really made a bunch of bad decisions in that, except for just being an idiot with a spinning back elbow. Uh, I just don't see how Gamrot's going to really hold him down for 3 rounds, not taking some of the hard punches that Turner has. So I got to take the dog in this. I'm taking Turner as my pick. I even think he's got a bet of an inside the distance win. My prop bet would probably be just the money line. And my super bet would be if Gamrot does actually do what the hell he can, then it's going to decision, and I'll go the over 2.5 as a super bet just to see if I can make all my money back.
My man's already planning for a losing night. Another thing, another thing to take into account is that, like you said, how tall he is. It's hard to elevate, like we've seen in other fighters. It's hard to elevate somebody that tall. So I mean, the big slam takedowns, he's probably not going to be able to get. He's probably going to get trip takedowns, which I'm not sure. Like I didn't watch tape. I'm not sure if most of his
He does a
takedowns
lot
are
of
trip
those single
takedowns.
legs. He tries to grab like a
Okay,
single
well,
leg.
probably get him down. That's going to still be hard, but you can still get him with a trip off of that. But yeah, I mean, I just think he's gonna have a hard time getting Jalen Turner down, and the whole time he's gonna be eating elbows and eating knees trying to get him down.
Doing it for 3 rounds is going to be very difficult. That guy is big. He's also very patient. He doesn't fight crazy, and that's what those wrestlers need. They need you to take like wild punches and stuff like that so they can take you right to the ground. Because then they just time it. They wait until you're going to throw. They do the double leg, and boom, you're on your back.
Well, I know Joe's on the other side. Do we have anybody else that wants to speak for Gamrot? Anybody else see it going for him, or any different takes at all?
Man, I just see it going both ways. I'm not on this fight.
That's fair. I feel like Rondo pretty much laid it out pretty well.
Yes, he did. I'm gonna laugh, but we got no hands up. There's no need to stall on it. Let me flip over to was a little faster than expected, but let me flip over to what's next. Is Jeff Neal versus Shavkat Rachmanov. Let me get the tail of the tape
I'm a
up here.
proud parent over here, man. My boy over here speaking names right 2 weeks in a row. Shit.
Glasses, bro. Marin wasn't here. I got my glasses on 2 weeks in a row, so I just started bringing the fucking glasses out, even when Marin's here, so I can see the shit. When I can see the name I'm supposed to pronounce, I know them all because I listen to the announcers say them when they fight, and then I listen to them on tape repeatedly. But when I can't see it, I'm like, fuck it, I can't remember. Anyways, Jeff Neal, 5'11", Shavkat is 6'1". Neal is 75-inch reach, Shavkat 77 inches reach. So 2 inches height, 2 inches reach. Neal does land at a pretty high clip of 5.2 significant strikes per minute. Shavkat 2.5. We all know that guy likes to grapple. I don't know, man. This is the one for me. I put Shavkat in a parlay piece. I mean, he's the obvious pick here, but man, if Jeff Neal breaks my parlay, I won't even be mad. Like I know we're betters and fuck it, they're not people, they're bets and all that bullshit. But I don't give a shit, man. I like Jeff Neal. I hope he gets the fucking W, but I did bet against him. Yeah, I mean, fuck it. It is what it is, right? Andrew was on tape. What you got, bud?
Man, I was hoping to come into this with a pretty good argument for Jeff Neal. However, I'm having a hard time finding it. Jeff Neal, here's what I will say. What this fight is kind of going to remind me of, maybe not to the extent in terms of excitement factor, but just in terms of like step up of competition. I think this is going to be similar to when Hamzat fought Burns. He's just a huge jump in competition, and then he finally got tested and, had a competitive fight. I think this is going to be a competitive fight to some extent. I don't see it going to the ground from Jeff Neal's side, but he does like to clinch. That's my big question: is can he beat Shavkat in the clinch? Because Shavkat has shown that he can sit in the clinch. He did it with Oliveira for like 2 minutes. But he always fights the underhooks, which is nice. So he's always looking to get off the cage. But I want to see if Neal is strong enough to hold him there, because he's also shown that he can hold people up on the cage. But it's tough, man. I look at Jeff Neal's wins, and I notice like, okay, well, when he's winning, what is he doing? He's controlling the center of the cage. He's controlling the pace, which is most important because in his losses, he seems to get tired when he's not controlling his own pace. But he does have really good takedown defense. So I'm curious to see um, if and how Shavkat can get him down. And then if he gets him down, how long can he keep him down? Because Shavkat has shown the ability to have great top control. And Jeff Neal has shown that he can get up off the ground quickly if you can get him down. So there are questions that I want to see answered. But Shavkat is very strong and he controls the pace. He always controls the center when he wins, and he wins in every fight. He's never lost. He's got that powerful straight right hand. If he does get that top control, that right hand is powerful. It is quick. He's got quick hands. He's great on the ground. So I really do want to see if this fight hits the ground, how long it stays. I do think it'll be somewhat of a competitive fight, but yeah, I've got Shavkat on this one too.
Mikey Bats, I was going to ask you where that photo in your profile was taken, but that's T-Mobile Arena. I've been there too many times. What you got on this fight, bud?
Which photo? My banner or my profile pic?
Your banner up there. I just seen your banner.
Yeah. No, that's pleasure to meet you guys. Yeah, listen, I'm gonna go with Shavkat, of course, like everybody else. But if I'm gonna make a compelling argument for Jeff Neal, it's a lot of what was just said. But I think also it has to be more about the mental, right? Like Shavkat has not faced actual adversity yet. No one's made him back up. No one's hit him in the face yet. What I
He
need to
did.
see.
He almost got knocked out.
That was on original thing, though.
Gilbert almost knocked him out, but I'm talking like from somebody that not Gilbert. What are we talking about? Shavkat? Shavkat didn't almost get knocked out. Did I miss something?
No, he
He did on the
did.
original thing, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was like, wait. So
Yeah,
it's
he
what?
took a decent right hand from Oliveira, but it was nothing to rave about.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, we're talking about somebody that can genuinely has one punch knockout, and that's what Jeff Neal has. And my main thing with Jeff has always been, whenever I've seen him fight, it's not that his physical abilities is an issue. It's his mental ability in that, does he believe he can stay in the fight? You know, if he can believe he belongs in there with Shavkat, then I think he has a really good chance. Like I said, he has really good setup. His takedown defense is there. It's just about stringing together the confidence, because that's a lot of what these fights come down to. You know, it's not just about the physical ability. It's about, do you believe you can maximize it? And I think with Jeff, and plus, like I said, the tough thing is he's had a rough goings on the last couple of years. You know, he's been in the hospital. He's almost died, and struggling with stuff. If his mental game is right, I think he can give Shavkat problems. Shavkat's a fucking machine. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I can cuss in this space, but Shavkat's just a machine. But I think the thing with those wrestler type machines is that they are always very they're one note. They have tunnel vision. They don't see anybody doing anything to them. So when you punch them in the face, it discombobulates their game plan. So I just want to see what happens when Shavkat has to go through more adversity. So
you make a great point about the mental, bro. You make a great point about the mental. That's very valid. I love that.
Because that's going to be the case in the co-main event. Because I'm sorry to cut you off, Andrew. You and I actually got into an argument like a year or two ago. But just to jump ahead, it's like everyone's going to pick Valentina. I'm going to pick against Valentina. I'm going to pick Valentina. But people need to understand that Alexa, her skills are as dynamic as anyone Valentina's ever faced. And if she can make up the power differential, she's going to give Valentina a problem. I still think Valentina gets it done in like 3 rounds, but I think Alexa might. If you guys have watched her in Invicta, she's a monster. So, but anyways, sorry to go off course there.
No, you're good, man. We'll hit that fight next. But if Jeff Neal's going to win, he's got to control the center of the cage. And I think that does come with his confidence, like you just said. Because if he doesn't control the cage, he's going to lose. And that's what Shavkat does, is he controls the cage. When I looked at his 2 losses against Thompson and Magny, I'm sitting there, I'm going, man, he had such low volume in these 2 fights. Why? It's because he's getting outpaced. He can't do what he wants to do, and he tends to overthink in those situations. And not to mention, when he fought Magny, I think he had a really hard time with his range, because he doesn't usually face guys with that kind of range. But guess what he's going to face? He's going to face range, baby. He's getting. Yeah.
The funny thing is, I don't know if we should have this discussion, because I know we're just covering the card, but I think pound for pound, Shavkat's a better prospect than Hamzat. So I think he might be better, but maybe that's a
Oh,
different
bro,
Yeah, I
conversation.
wouldn't go that
bro.
far,
That's an
but
interesting. No,
We are not.
Hamzat's a monster, and I love his potential. But then Shavkat is more technical.
Whoa, bro. This space is about to come unglued. Don't.
Hey, Mike, you bet you're cutting in and out, bud.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you
bud.
are cutting in and out pretty bad.
The
Am I good?
MMA gods have spoken. They cut him off.
Yeah. Oh,
Nah,
never,
Mikey's
never.
cool. He's actually been in here before. But yeah, bro, the roof will come off this space. We're gonna lap that out. We're not gonna talk about Chimaev in here. Wes isn't here, but we still got some guys in here that'll go hard on Chimaev. I think that brings us to the co-main event of the evening. Yes, it does. Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso. Valentina is 23-3. Grasso is 15-3. Both 5'5". Both have 66-inch reach. Valentina is orthodox. Valentina is southpaw. Alexis is orthodox. Alexa lands at just over 5 significant strikes per minute, where Valentina lands at just over 3 significant strikes per minute. The difference is Alexa absorbs at 4 significant strikes per minute, while Valentina absorbs at 1.9. The takedown average is per 15 minutes, not even close. Valentina at 2.5. Alexa doesn't even average half a takedown per 15 minutes. Submissions isn't very high for either of them. I don't know, man. So I actually did watch a little bit on this fight. I didn't have a ton of time. I lost power and shit, but nobody really signed up for these top 2 fights. So I did watch a little bit on these fights. Grasso has really good hands, right? She might be able to touch Val, right? Like, I get it. I see it. She throws the great combo. She'll step into it. She'll follow through. Um, it's even if she has the power to hurt Val will just take her down. I don't see anywhere that she's going to stop someone at Valentina's level from taking her down and just controlling her. So, like, while I do think Grasso can hurt Val, while I do think that is possible, I am not on to the fact that this is going to be an upset. I think Val at minus 625 is fucking crazy. I would understand 400 or 375, 350. But I seen it at minus 625. I think that's crazy. Val does have the longest active winning streak in women's MMA at 7, trying to extend it to 8. With that said, is anybody on Grasso? Okay, then Mikey Bats, what you got?
I mean, Valentina is my girl, and so is Grasso, and I'm picking Valentina. But for the sake of the argument, I'll make something for Grasso. Here's the thing: I think a lot of what is going on with Alexa is everyone has those. We all have the tape of her getting destroyed by Tatiana, and then getting held down by Carla. But I think we also have to be honest about the level of competition she's facing. You know, those are 2 of the best wrestlers in the entire UFC. They hold anyone down. Now, granted, the size discrepancy is going to be interesting because even though they're the same height, size is a different thing. I mean, you look at what Valentina does to people even bigger than her. You know, like Juliana Pena is bigger than her, and she was able to get her down. I think what Alexa has to do is she has to keep this fight, as crazy as it sounds, because Valentina's a striker, she has to keep this fight on the feet and try to be as dynamic as a striker, because the criticism of Valentina lately is that she's become kind of not one-dimensional, but kind of being like robotic, right? Like she waits and waits and waits and picks her spots and waits for you to make a mistake. It's almost like the Anderson Silva GSP thing that everyone gets to. When you get that good, when you get that dominant, you tend to find your groove, and you're like, all right, why do I need to take risk? What Alexa has to do is she has to take risks in this fight. She has to make Valentina fight her, and she has to look at what Tyler Santos did in that fight and try to glean from some of those things. Obviously, she doesn't have the same physical tools as Tyler Santos, but there's some strategies from that fight that she can probably glean from and go, okay, if I do this, but do it in my way, it might give Valentina problems, because at the end of the day too, time beats everybody. Valentina is gonna be, her birthday is next week. She's gonna be 35, I think, and it's just the time's gonna get to her, and this might be the time. This is a trap fight for her in many ways. Like when you're that dominant, something's gonna catch up to you. But I still think she'll get it done, but we'll see.
Not a bad take. Usman, what you got?
Is it a gimmick? For sure. But I told y'all when this fight first got announced exactly how it was gonna go. What's her name? Fucking Alexa Grasso was gonna give her some stuff up top while they're striking, and Valentina's gonna say, "I'm not gonna deal with this shit. I'm gonna take this bitch down," and she's going to, and then she's gonna get subbed. Put y'all's money on Alexa Grasso by submission because we're gonna make some bank this weekend, boys.
Bro,
Alexa
Marin would be
Grasso
so proud of
by
you right now, man.
submission.
Marin would be
Oh
so
yeah,
proud of you.
yeah. I know Marin. I don't know where the fuck he's doing or where he's at. But on a serious note, I will say this. I'm always gonna back my Mexicans. I'm also always willing to shit on Entram Gym and how they don't really make progress. But if you look at both Irene Aldana and Alexa Grasso, they've been able to flex a little bit of their groundwork here more recently. And if they're doing anything over there, it seems like they're trying to capitalize on that big weakness that both of them have had. And I'm always gonna back Alexa Grasso. It's gonna happen, guys. I will throw a sprinkle on Alexa Grasso by submission.
Bro, that shit is gonna end Valentina beating her ass in a crucifix. I don't know why you're gonna waste your money on that shit. Advis, go
Sprinkles.
ahead.
So,
Sprinkles.
me and Wes in the chat had a pretty decent conversation about this. I just thought I'd go over what we said. No, with no disrespect to Alassa Grasso at all, I like her very much, but I don't think she doesn't stand a chance against Valentina. Alexa Grasso is a boxer who doesn't throw kicks, and Valentina plays at range for fun. Alexa Grasso hasn't beaten anyone yet in her career where I've gone, wow, I want to see what she's going to be like against Valentina. I don't think she's ready. I think every couple fights in Valentina's career, she has to prove herself again, like sort of like make a statement, like that massive statement she talked about with the Andrade fight. I think this fight's going to be the same because she was quote unquote beaten in her last fight. Um, I honestly think Valentina's just going to eat her alive, do whatever she wants. She's going to kick her to death. She's going to wrestle her to death. Valentina by whatever way she wants.
Oh, make no mistake about it, bro. She did lose the last fight. She just won the decision.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, I just think that she's gonna, like I said, every couple fights or so, Valentina has to make a statement to remind people that she's good as we think she is, And I think that this fight is gonna be no different. Yeah.
I
And I
think
think
it's just
I
what
don't.
comes with greatness. You know what I mean?
Andrew.
Like no one likes greatness and dominance over a long period of time. So when it does, people get bored and they want something new and they want something exciting. So, when you have a decent prospect coming up or whenever it's a competitive fight, there's a little bit more emotion behind it.
Yo, I quoted it once and I'll quote it again. Spider-Man said it best, man. The one thing people love to see more than a hero rise is a hero fall, man. So people cheer him on the way up, then can't wait for him to lose, man. It's a sad game that we love, but that's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
That's facts. They was doing that to Floyd Mayweather.
Exactly.
Signature,
This.
go ahead, man.
I think
Yeah, I
I
did
think a
that shit
live
to
play in
Floyd,
this
man.
fight that's definitely
Me
I think a
too.
live play that's worth a small stab in this fight is Grasso via submission because I don't know who was on Grasso, but I think honestly, Valentina has like this aura of invincibility around her. But if you literally just look at Alexa Grasso skill for skill, man, I think she's actually extremely skilled, and I think on the feet it has the potential to be close. She has very tight boxing. Um, but I think that submission is live because depending how Valentina chooses to fight her, because I was talking to somebody else in a different space about this. Valentina's training in Japan, and somebody was speculating that she was practicing her judo, and Alexa Grasso goes for submissions in fights. Prior to the Joanne Calderwood fight, Joanne Wood, she attempted a lot of submissions, she just didn't get them. I think it was Felice Herrig. Correct me if I'm wrong. But she went for like a guillotine at the end of the round, and she had it tight, but the round ended, and then she finally got that submission over Joanne Wood. So depending how Valentina chooses to fight her, I think a submission is totally live. So I think it's worth a small stab. Yeah.
A submission, no offense, but a submission over JoJo doesn't convince me that she's gonna submit Valentina.
And I'm saying it's worth a stab. I think the odds are like
Well,
eight
yeah,
eight or
but you
10
could
to one.
you could use that same argument for a lot of fighters on a lot of things, though. That's just being
I don't
contrarian.
So here's what I'm gonna
I don't
say.
think it's contrary.
I don't disagree with him because he did not use the word value one time that I heard. Had he thrown the word value in there, that shit would have been out the door. But he just said worth a stab. Fuck it, it's worth a stab. I'm gonna agree with it.
I call it
Brett,
Yeah, and I
scratch-off
know.
ticket.
I'm just saying I'm not convinced.
no, I agree with you, but I'm saying he just said it's worth a stab. He didn't come at us with no bullshit value, so
Yeah,
give him a
bro, you
break.
gotta relax, man. He's not saying, "Yo, you need to play the sub."
Bro,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
your
I
yeah,
know
he's
life.
that.
just saying
Shout
it's
I
out
worth
know
a
Black
that,
Bro,
Boy.
stab.
it's your bro,
and
it's your
I
bro, it's
know that. I'm just generally.
All right, hands up, boy. Go ahead, signature.
your money, bro. Do what you want. I'm just saying the odds are like 8 or 10 to 1, and stylistically if you look at how they fight, it's a very feasible path for Alexa Grasso. So do whatever you want. I'm just saying what I think.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense, honestly. Go ahead, Usman.
Hey, I just got to remind y'all rule number 367 of MMA betting. When you got more than two women fights that are over minus 200, one of them is going to fall. And Tabitha Ricci ain't falling, baby, so bet on Grasso.
Hey,
The fuck
that's
out of
actually.
here with that
Hey,
shit.
There is
Usman.
another way
That's
to
Bro,
do
actually
it
it's
too, bro.
rule 367, bro. You didn't read the
Hey,
handbook?
that's Rule 365 in my book, bro. You quoting the wrong chapter.
Bro, my book only goes to rule 334. I don't know where you're getting this rule 3 whatever fucking bullshit you're making up. There's 334 rules in this handbook, bro. That's it. There ain't
Hey,
no
Liam had his hand up.
Can I paint you guys a picture of like this time last year when everybody was telling me that it was a crack cocaine take to think that Talia Santos could outgrapple Valentina Shevchenko? So I do think that
Yeah, but we seen go ahead.
I have heard you're the Bob Ross of MMA, to be fair, though. So paint
it
that picture, baby boy.
Well, what I'm saying is, man, at that time, everybody's like, bro, that's an insane take. And then post hoc, they're like, well, I mean, yeah, we knew it was going to be close, but like, well, no, you guys told me it was going to be a rout. You guys told me it was minus 600. It's like, you got to either live with the result. And like, I thought that she won the fight, but it's like, if she didn't, all right, no worries. She got out grappled then by a blue belt. That's what we have to talk about moving forward. So it's like, yes, she was physical. Yes, she was very physically imposing. I'm talking about Talia Santos, but she was a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu who's not that experienced on the ground, all things considered. And she was able to rout her on the ground for various portions of that fight. So it's like, for me, yeah, I have to agree that, I have no money on the fight. I have no money on Grasso, but just in terms of like ways to look for Valentina to fall off this ledge, it's like, yeah, I mean, she just got out grappled her last fight by a blue belt. So very possible she gets submitted at some point in her career.
Dude,
Oh,
Liam makes a great point because I remember this space a year
and
ago
thank you, Liam.
during that fight week. I remember that fight week, and Wes was actually on Santos. And all of us were like, bro, you're fucking crazy. You're out of your mind. There's no way. He broke it down like word for fucking word, like to a T, dude. I remember that. And then when the fight was going on, I'm sitting there watching going, holy shit, bro, Wes is right. And then they jobbed her on the decision. And I remember like you guys were all clowning and I'm like, hey, man, as far as I know, you read that right 100%, man. Good
Yeah,
shit.
I will say this:
Because I thought he was off his rocker for that.
there was no voice. I mean, there was no one touting or repping for Tyler Santos more than Liam on Twitter. I seen him throwing that shit all over Twitter, bro. So he was definitely on that shit. I recall it from my own experience.
But don't y'all think Valentina too smart to get sub though? Like that actual sub, not like just getting grapple fucked, but actually somebody getting the sub. I think her IQ too high for that.
It seems like all it takes is one titty to pop out and the sub's in.
That's the new MMA meta. Take out a titty and go for the sub.
Bro, listen, she is not subbing Valentina. I'm gonna wrap this talk up. I'll let you guys fantasize about this for like 5 or 6 minutes now. Like this is
He
fucking
don't want the
fantasy
truth.
talk. I
Yo,
Plus,
listen,
hey, honey,
I like the conversation. This is
yo,
a space.
Alexa
So
Grasso via titty armbar.
bro,
Bruh.
Sign me up.
When Alexa Grasso is in the crucifix getting her ass whooped, I want all of you guys to tag me with clapping hands, please. Just tag me with
Me
clapping.
too. Me too.
That would be great. I'm gonna lap that fight out because that's 15 minutes, and even for the main event and co-main events, that is the limit around here.
Oh
Uh,
God, here we go. Here we fucking
actually,
go.
That
I
limit
don't
about to
have
be broke.
much. I don't have much. John Jones versus Surreal Gone. Tail of the tape. John Jones, 6'4", Surreal Gone, 6'4". John Jones, 84 inches of reach. Surreal Gone, 81 inches of reach. I mean, that is significant reach that Surreal has. If he wasn't fighting John, he would probably have the advantage. I mean, the stats are so slanted to say John landed at 3.4 significant strikes per minute and Surreal lands at 5.1. Like, John was fighting light heavyweights. It was 3 years ago. I get it. I will say my take on this fight is that everybody talks about the speed difference. Surreal Gone will be no faster than any of the light heavyweights that John recently fought. I mean, if you want to handpick one and be like, he's faster than this guy, oh, okay, fine. But rule of thumb, he's not faster than those light heavyweights, so it's not going to be something that John hasn't seen before.
Your
Uh,
bias is showing.
um, so Anyway, sorry, my glasses. Yep, glasses fell off. Fuck you guys and your laughy faces that are coming. I knocked my glasses off and had to put them back on. The games. I think the stand up. I don't think anybody has an advantage. If I'm being honest, I'm a big John fan. Whatever. They both use the same kick. Surreal. They both use similar stance. Maybe not. We don't know what John's going to stand like now. I don't see a real edge for anybody in the stand up. Offensively, defensively, John has a huge advantage in the stand up. At least with the hands anyway. The kicks I'm not sure on, but the hands defensively, he has way better defense. Takedowns, John is favorable. Ground control, John is favorable. Not being a John Mark, it's a lifetime of grappling, a lifetime of high level grappling, and then even in MMA out grappling high level grapplers. Yeah, I'm on John Jones on this fight all day. Everybody here knew that. Sergey Pavlovich is slated to be the official backup for the main event. He will have to weigh in and he must hit the heavyweight mark to be eligible if something does happen to each fighter. Um, John Jones and Surreal Ghan have been indirectly going back and forth through the media. If you follow that, it heats up a little bit. John Jones made the comment that he doesn't agree that Surreal Ghan is the most technical kickboxer he's ever fought.
That's bull.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how much I agree with that. I hope, as a guy on John, that John is not overlooking Surreal's kickboxing. But I have paid a lot of attention to this fight. I've watched all the behind the scenes shit. And not, as a fan, yeah, but looking for stuff too. Um, you can't find a lot on Surreal's camp. You can see his manager dressed up or his coach dressed up on Embedded, and um, you can see exactly what they portray, that he's sparring people that aren't as big as him and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know how much of that is show and how much of that is they've got a real badass camp that we can't see. I don't know. Surreal Ghan saying, I don't like to wrestle, so I don't train unless I have to, unless there's a fight booked. I don't know how real any of that is. It's hard to read because if it all is all real, it just doesn't even make sense that he's getting ready to fight John Jones. John's camp is fucking real deal. He's got 6 foot plus guys, 300-pound guys all around him. He has big guys on him all the time, laying on him. He has Henry Cejudo there for grappling. He's got nice jujitsu guys there. He's got a fucking super high pedigree camp, and he weighs 250 pounds. He may actually be heavier than Surreal going into this fight. So that's everything I got, and pretty much everything I think is worth knowing about it. From my point of view, I think Usman was up first, so go ahead, bud.
Yeah, it seems like everybody has pretty much drawn the line and chosen a side, and I'm not trying to go ahead and sway anybody here. I'm just gonna tell y'all what I think, and I truly believe like all the mythology stories and stuff from the past, from different cultures and stuff. I think that's all real. I think when back in the day there was a Hercules, there was an Achilles. Of course, everything got exaggerated and stuff. I think what we're seeing right now, I like to call them the modern myths of the future. You know what I mean? And we have fucking John Jones, one of the greatest fighters ever, the greatest fighter ever, who has this fucking switch in his head, who thinks the world's against him, who thinks God goes ahead and fucking gives him these trials and tribulations and these tests. And sometimes God does
And he beats
worship
his
or
wife's ass.
give favors to. Yes, sometimes God does favor these creatures that he makes, even if they're not the best people in general. And I was about to bring that up. Yes, fucking he destroyed his family. And what did he do? Built a gym inside of his house. This is like Plato's in the caves. This man has been staring at the fire for years now. And call it bias, call it favoritism, call it just me backing the goat. I'm with John Jones 100% here, and I think he's going to pull through as this mythological figure who just cannot be beaten in a fight. And that's
Man,
it.
man,
Drop that
Jones
fucking
getting
mic, boy. Drop that fucking mic.
Mikey Bats,
man,
get
Jones
your
about to
2
get
minutes.
beat the fuck up.
All right, man. To me, it just comes down to, I think what we're all trying to do is we're trying to rationalize what he would look like as a heavyweight, because at the end of the day, we have no physical evidence of what he looks like as a heavyweight. You know, we have watched him for the majority of his, well, not majority, his entire career has
We
been
do.
fought at
Picks came out,
205
bro.
pounds. I'm sorry, Hope?
Picks came out, bro.
And fuck picks. There's
Bro.
there's
No, I'm
2
not talking
hours
about
of
picks. I'm like,
training footage.
we've
He's
never
huge.
seen him fight at that weight. You know, like, and maybe even when he was 20, that was different. I'm talking about like the translation of his athleticism and all his skills, because the advantages that he had at 205 will not be there at heavyweight. However, his fight IQ will translate. The skills that he developed should translate. I mean, he is a Greco-Roman guy. He is capable of tossing people around. So I think that will be the first big advantage that I think he will show against Cyril. But Cyril is also a very established kickboxer. So it'll be interesting to see how their clinch approach will be, you know, because
Yeah,
Cyril's, yeah.
so what do
I'm
you
sorry, go
think of
ahead.
the idea though that, and I'm not meaning to cut you off, I'm actually trying
It's
to,
fine.
but like what do you think of the idea that Surreal's not much bigger than the guys John's been fighting? Once them guys rehydrate, they're 230 plus. They are
Yeah.
all 6'3" plus. They're
Mm-hmm.
faster. They're more agile. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you, I don't know. You don't think that Surreal is like just kind of measures up to them guys since he's not going to cut
Well,
weight?
it's an interesting thing because, you know, bone density and certain and bone structure is a thing, right? Because he can fight guy like, remember when they tried to build the first fight with Gustafsson around their reach? Where it's like, oh, Gustafsson's like the longest guy he's fought. And then Gustafsson was able to take him down. And then he fought Dominic, who's also like 6'4", 6'5". And that really was interesting. So there is this dynamic where it's like if he's fighting guys his size, he might get, you know, get cause trouble. But Cyril looks just a little denser than those two guys. Like we saw Alexander Gustafsson at heavyweight, and even though he's a tall dude, it's like, nah, man, you're not a heavyweight. You know, you're just a tall 205er. You know, you're one of those. If anything, these guys are those cruiserweights. You know, those 220-pound, 6'4" light heavyweights. You know, and when I look at Cyril looks like a legit like that guy. That guy's not cutting to 205. You know, I would be surprised if he ever did, because I just think he looks a little bit hulkier. You know, and that's what I'm curious to see gets tested. It's like, can John have the leverage, and will he be able to move Cyril the same way he's able to move guys his size? Because he struggled with Gustafson took him down. Dominic.
Oh, bro, come on with this. Everybody with this Gus took him down, bro. Gus took him
Yeah,
down once.
yeah,
Cormier took him down once. This guy's
yeah.
got 26 fights and has been taken down twice.
No,
There's no
exactly. Yeah,
narrative where this guy has
yeah.
been taken down and controlled ever.
Oh, I never. Yeah, exactly. I never
Signature,
said
what
that.
you got? I don't mean to cut you off, but
You could.
we're clocking it up. Signature, what you got?
I have a very strong take on this fight. I'm taking Cyril Gane all the way, and here is my argument for Cyril Gane. Okay, I don't think John Jones has ever fought somebody like Cyril Gane. I think he is the best striker that he's ever fought. And also, we have a glaring open question. This is just what I think. I could be totally wrong. Jones put on a solid 35 to like 45 pounds. Okay, when he hits the scale, it's gonna matter. And the pictures that are coming out, the training footage, he looks a little chunky, not that much, but he's got a good amount of body fat. He didn't put on exclusively muscle. And when you put on that much mass, man, it takes a lot of extra energy and strain on the body to move around that mass. Okay, Cyril Gane is a natural heavyweight, and he's a lean heavyweight, man. This guy, his body fat, you can literally see like outlines of his abs and his obliques. Okay, this guy is 6'5", 240 something pounds, and relatively shredded for his size. Okay, and so he's extremely fast and mobile. I don't need to tell you guys that. And the cardio is a glaring question. I might be totally wrong, but conventional wisdom, it's like it's going to have an effect in the way he fights. I think the best ways that size is going to help him is if he can take down Cyril Gane. I think he's going to be considerably more top heavy, and he's already top heavy as a light heavyweight. But I think it's going to help him even more in the grappling. What else was I going to say? A few other points. So the cardio is a huge issue. We genuinely don't know. We don't know if it stays on the feet, if he's going to gas out after 10 minutes or 15. We don't know. Cyril Gane has gone 5 rounds multiple times. So that's a glaring question. I had a few other points. And also, I don't know, another path to victory for Cyril Gane that I see potentially is, a lot of that mass that John Jones put on is in his upper body, man. It's in his back, it's in his chest, it's in his belly, a little bit in his quads, and it's like he's still got those tiny little calves, and he has to support all that extra weight that he put on, man. And Cyril Gane throws a lot of leg kicks, okay? And if you really,
Bro, his chicken legs are now ostrich legs, bro. Give him a little credit.
bro,
He put on a little
no,
mass in his
I'm
legs.
talking about those tiny little calves. And if Cyril Gane really sits down on those calf kicks, man, John Jones has all that extra weight that he has to stand on and carry. And if he really destroys those things, I think he can totally immobilize John Jones. So that's just what I think. I could be totally wrong, but I'm taking Cyril Gane all the way.
Nah, man, you ain't wrong, man. Stop saying that, man. You're not wrong. This
You kind of
just
stepping on my
roll with
points,
it.
brother.
Roll with it, dog.
Average, what you got?
Um, he kind of stepped on a few of my points there. No, it's all good. Yeah, I don't. I'm 50-50 on this fight. I'm not on this fight, but I'm just gonna watch as a fan. I'm super excited for it though. I don't. I think Cyril's live. I think especially early the pace might affect John just because like the 3 years out and everything. I wouldn't be surprised if we're 10 minutes in and John is just exhausted on his stool. Um, um, I watched the Derek Lewis fight back like 2 days ago, and the kicks he was using. I'm very excited to see someone throw the kicks back that John Jones threw at everyone else. I think that's going to be very intriguing. I think Cyril Gane has prepared somewhat for the grappling. I don't know if it's going to help. Like with Francis, he wasn't expecting grappling at all, and that's why I think he struggled a little bit. Honestly, I have no idea who's going to win this fight. I'm just really just looking forward to it as a fan.
So you're telling me that I can get John Jones at a decent number? I'm all over that, bro. Getting him
Cash that shit.
at possibly a plus number, dude. Come on. Value boys. If you're a value boy, you should be jumping all over that shit. You got the greatest of all
Cash
time
that
in
shit.
MMA in an
Hey, we
MMA
don't use
fight.
that word in this space, Trace. You know better, man.
Hey, if
Dude said the V word.
but if you you're telling me that you get the greatest, arguably the greatest fighter of all time at plus money, and you're not going to jump on it. At least hedge your bet that way. If you're gonna put some money on Gone, at least hedge your bet back that way with that money. I mean, that way you don't lose nothing. You're taking no chances, really.
Yeah, and I get all passionate about it, right? But like, I actually tried to sit down and look at it, like, because I tried to figure out if I was being biased. Like, I fucking love John. I'm like, all right, bro, this dude is big.
You is, trust me.
Oh wait, sorry.
Okay, but so I looked at it, right, and I said, okay, so what does Surreal have that everybody thinks that he'll beat John with? He's got a jab. Who have you ever seen? And it's not because John's moving. Don't tell me cardio. That's not going to be. Who have you ever seen get a jab off on John Jones?
I just want to say this also. He just got out wrestled, or he got held down by Ngannou. John Jones out wrestles Ngannou every day of the week, bro. Even
Yeah,
on the
but
bad days.
like I said,
Man,
do
no,
you
he
Bro,
think
he
he
doesn't.
out
honestly was
wrestled
No,
expecting
he
Daniel
that?
fucking
doesn't.
So
Cormier.
just say he can, or he can't hang with him on the feet. Just say he can't. I think he does. I think he tears him up. But just say he can't hang with him on the feet.
But well, hold
He
on. So
has
I want to
he's
say this,
he's the
bro.
greatest.
So
He can take you down whenever he wants. He took down the most decorated wrestler in the heavyweight or light heavyweight division in Daniel Cormier. He took him down. Like, come on,
that
man.
big
Like
damn
he has a glaring hole to win. We just saw get used against him against Ngannou. I mean, there's definitely routes other than the striking for this man to win. He's the greatest of all time for a reason.
But did he expect the grappling though? That's what I'm saying. He got out grappled in a fight
Okay,
against a
That's what
okay,
I'm
striker.
saying.
that's what
That's
I've
what
had
I'm
my hand
saying.
up. No,
Nobody thought Francis was
that's what
gonna
I've had my
wrestle.
hand up over here for this whole time.
Go ahead, Usman.
There's literally an interview I saw earlier today. Y'all can go ahead and look for it because I ain't gonna look for it for y'all. But there's literally an interview after the Ngannou fight, post fight interview, and Gan says we knew he was going to grapple. We knew that was his best chance because we were gonna have a striking advantage. They knew he was gonna grapple. He did not go for a bad IQ ankle lock. He got swept in like jujitsu 101 fucking scissor sweep from Ngannou's guard. He knew that he was gonna grapple. They prepared for it. He has a huge hole in his grappling.
Go ahead and tell him, baby. Tell him what he has to do. Talk your shit.
Man, I just don't see what y'all see, man. I don't think he Jones is powerful like Francis the fucking wrestle fuck Gone, man. Like I hate when people say, "Oh, Gone is live," man. Y'all acting like Gone Jones is not world level above over Gone like that to be saying, "Oh, Gone's live." Like, bro, this like 50-50. Like Gone is on his level, bros.
No, okay, he's on his level striking, bro. That's it, though. Like, come on, baby, admit you. I mean, like, that's the problem. Everybody on Gone just wants to completely fucking ignore the fact that if the fight leaves the feet, when the fight leaves the feet, it's over for him, bro.
They
Bro,
tend to
his
Joe. They
own.
tend to
I don't.
forget that a lot of his wins have been amassed over quality wrestlers. A lot of these guys, like not Dan Anderson, but like a lot of guys that he's fought are wrestlers that have that wrestling background. Dude, I mean, you're telling me the guy's amassed what 30 fights over his career. You're telling me that, and all the time that he's learned, a guy that has never wrestled before MMA is going to come out here and out wrestle him. Come on, man, get real.
Bro, I don't think he. I don't, man, his rest. I don't think his wrestling
I'm
gonna
not
work on
saying you,
Gone.
baby. I'm just saying I have heard people saying that they think that he can out wrestle John Jones. He may be able to overpower him. Yeah, sure, he might be able to do that. But technique for technique, John Jones will out wrestle everybody in that heavyweight division except maybe Curtis Blades. That's a fight I'm really
Yeah,
excited
that's the
for.
only way. Like
All
the
right,
technique, he gonna have to like trip him or something. But I don't think his wrestling
that's
gonna
it,
work
though,
on.
bro. That the John Jones strip is nasty. I'm not even being funny. It's fucking
Then
nasty.
That
unfortunately,
John
John
Jones
never
body
fight.
lock inside trip.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
bro.
John never.
Dad Pick's got his hands up. I ain't trying to cut you off, Trace. Dad been sitting over there in his signature trying to get back in because I kind of cut him off there. Go ahead, Dad Picks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna make a blade, and I'm siding with Jones. I mean, Baby knows this. He's been fucking going at it, with the chat, the whole, like fucking month. Like, and you know what? I mean, I respect his side. He's staying on it. He's confidence. So, I mean, good luck to him. But at the end of the day, I gotta side with the guy that has more ways to win. At the end of the day, John Jones has more ways to win. He could take him down. He's better. In the ground. He could sub him. If he wants, or he could smash him down with the elbows. I think it's gonna end up. Going down to to the ground. It's gonna end up being because obviously Cyril Gane just has no answers. I mean, like you guys said it before, I don't want to regurgitate everything, but Francis did take him down, and once I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is a problem. Like this is not good. And looking back at it,
Off
it
power
doesn't age
though.
well.
Off power though.
Okay, all power. John Jones was a fucking college wrestler, bro. Collegiate wrestler, bro. He was top, bro. Like top, like in his college, bro. What makes you think that all that power that Francis did, with the shitty, takedown that he did? What makes you think that John Jones, who has the technique, who is trained like his whole early life for that, what makes you think he won't be able to secure it just because Surreal
Man,
has muscle? I'm not gonna just go off just the muscle, just the power. I'm not with that, bro. At the end of the day, it relies on technique. It relies on just going through it. Like, fuck, man. It just screams Jones. This spot
shit,
just
that
screams
technique
Jones.
wasn't working on his last few fights, so I'll tell you that.
Man,
Who?
against Reyes,
Yeah,
Reyes,
who, bro?
bro.
Reyes,
Usman has the
Reyes and
perfect.
what's his name? What's his name? Santos, whatever his name is.
Oh,
You mean
Deontay
you mean
Santos.
breaking a record on Dominic Reyes' takedowns? Because he's the only person to ever get Dominic Reyes down twice.
Thank you, Usman. Thank you. So yeah, like it just goes to show you, bro. Like, I mean, you could side with what you want, bro. I respect it, but at the end of the day, bro, this is just screams John Jones spot. I mean, I might not even bet at the end of the day, but if I do,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be holding John Jones on my ticket. So
See, that's what I'm saying, man. Like you're not even confident in Jones. Like, man, come on, you're not
it's
even
not
betting him.
that, bro. I just
I
don't.
knew people. I knew. Can I just say I knew people were going to be arguing about this fight. I just knew.
Oh yeah, we're only giving it a couple more minutes here. Signature, go ahead.
I'm
What's up?
just
Yeah.
saying, if y'all not confident, bet on it, man. Don't miss the opportunity.
What's up?
He said signature, not D baby. D baby.
All right. So basically,
Fuck you,
I
Andrew.
just I think it's interesting that Gain actually opened up as a slight favorite, minus 130, minus 150. I don't know if you guys saw this post by Haymakers that 88% of the betting public.
No, he opened as a fucking. He did not open as
He
a
opened as
favorite.
he did. He as a matter of fact, he opened as a slight favorite, and then the public, 88% of the money is now on John Jones, and now it reversed the line, it flipped the line. So I just want to make that comment that I think it's interesting that the bookies were actually leaning Gain. So that's point number one, and point number two, I don't know. I just feel like Gain is preparing for the rest. I don't know, man. I don't know. That was he wasn't. What in
The
Spit it
opening
out, man.
odds.
Spit
The
it out.
opening odds were John Jones minus 165, Surreal Gone plus 135. It swung because of the public to Surreal, and then it swung back to John. We've had this debate in heated discussion in our space.
Just saying, 3 months of wrestling practice is not going to be enough. For a lifelong? Experience in
Who's
grappling
been
wrestling.
inactive for 3 years?
Okay, your point.
Yeah, I have a
He's
question
been
for all the
arrested
God
twice in
backers.
those
All
three
right, all
years.
right,
So
all right, all right, all right. Listen. We're all getting bitter. This is this has got John Jones, to my surprise, has got to be the one fighter that turns this space on everybody. All our regulars, I mean, bro. We're except D Baby. D Baby's over there like, fuck y'all. And he's got we got 5-6 people from the chat in here getting heated, bro. Listen, we're gonna find out on Saturday. Surreal Gane is a really big fighter. He is a really good fighter. There's no question about it. But we're gonna find out on Saturday. We
Bro,
are.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I'm on the Jones side, but when Signature first spoke about Gon, all the points that he made about his size and his weight and the strength and stuff, Dude, I'm not gonna lie. That was a pretty compelling argument, man.
Oh, it was. And then I chopped him up, and then 3 other people chopped at
Yo,
him,
yo,
and
yo,
then
hold
D
up, hold
Baby
up,
tried
hold
to
up,
defend
hold up.
him.
Hey, we got a
listen, I
fresh.
took out my AirPods. You did not chop me up, sir. Please defend your position respectfully. Go ahead.
He called you,
Yeah,
sir.
I got a question. Like, would anybody be shocked? Because we know that John Jones coming off a layoff, new weight. Does anybody not see like there's a possibility that he could lose pretty bad because he's coming off a layoff on a new weight versus someone that's as big as him, is
This
even not stronger and faster.
Bro,
Like,
is what I've been
that's
saying.
what I'm saying, bro. 3 years
like
is
if
a
they really,
long time.
that's what I'm saying. And the thing
He's
is, if they
never
really
taken
wanted to
three
He
push,
years
been
off.
training though.
bro, if they would have said like he came back for like a Stipe, a Derek Lewis, say like he got a couple fights in, then be like, oh man, this is a. But the fact that he's coming off a layoff and like we seen what happened.
Guys, you're acting like it's a real
It
layoff.
is a
He's
real layoff.
literally has
Hey, bro,
trained
ring rust,
for,
bro. You
bro.
just,
Can I
So
just
the
point out the
greatest
fact he's
fighter
been
of all
arrested
time,
twice in those
bro,
2 years?
the greatest fighter of all time trains for 3 years nonstop with clearly knows what he has to do, and it's a layoff. That's just not realistic to me, bro.
that's what I'm
When
saying.
Amanda Nunes took a year off to come back and fight Cyborg, everybody said this bitch is dumb. This bitch is gonna get knocked out, and she fucking destroyed
Okay,
her,
but
bro.
here's the thing:
John
3 years
Jones.
off is a lot compared to one, and he's going up a weight class against someone, and we saw what
Yeah.
his last fight was. Let's not act like he won that so clear that.
Against someone that is 12 pounds heavier than his last
Bro,
opponent.
I'm telling you right now, like if he loses bad or say, I wouldn't bet like so confidently, like say bet 1,000. I'm telling you, bro, I feel like Khan is gonna make it like pretty. Is gonna beat him just because, like I said, it's a new weight class. John is like I said. I don't know. I'm not gonna say John is washed, but like, bro, he's coming up in a new weight class, and like in his performance versus Reyes, bro, it's not like let's not forget that wasn't his best performance, and Reyes was like pushing him around and
Yeah.
Khan is way better than Reyes. I'm just saying, bro. It's a new weight class. Remember, like if he could have fought a Derek Lewis, we could have seen like what he looked like. Like we haven't seen him at heavyweight. You gotta remember, like he what.
Dominic Reyes had 0 minutes of control time.
That's not true because he won rounds and he
It
look
is
at the
true. I'm
takedowns.
looking at UFCstats.com right
What do you,
now.
Okay,
bro?
like I
What is it?
said,
What
bro,
is
bro,
that? What
bro.
does that have to do with anything? Reyes outstruck
Okay,
him
that's
pillar to
fine.
post.
That's fine. Bet the house on
He got
Jones.
no
Bet the
takedowns, no
house on
control
Jones, and when he
time.
loses, we'll come back and say what happened.
Come, I assure you, we'll be here next Tuesday to hear all about
Yeah,
it.
I'll
This
be here.
space will probably be on fire next week, bro. There's this. This is a heated fight.
So I just want to touch on this real quick, Joe. He was talking about ring rust. Dominic Cruz has been on record saying, which is Dominic Cruz.
Yeah, bring that up. Talk that shit.
Grain of salt, but he has talked about ring rust is not a real thing. That's a mindset. You're not going in there and you're like, oh, I haven't fought in so long, I forgot how to fight. It's a mindset. You go in there and you either get the jitters again, like I said, your first fight again, or you go in there and you feel at home. It's your mindset.
Hey, who's
How
that?
long was Mike Tyson in prison? Does anybody know?
Yeah, but
Nah.
bro, he came back and fought like a. Let's be honest, you know about like
Bro,
bro, he didn't fight.
that fight. Listen,
He has
yo,
come back from
And was
multiple
it?
layoffs
listen.
throughout his
No,
Three
no,
career.
but
months.
he
Bro,
doesn't fight. He's
come
not.
on, man.
Yo,
Man, y'all.
Chewy Vasa almost took Gon to the fourth round. Almost took Gon to the fourth round, bro. This dude was accelerated to the top so that Dana could
Okay.
fabricate some bullshit story about the gyms for France. Dana literally was at the press conference saying, even Vince McMahon couldn't have scripted it this good. Bro, he was pushed to the top.
Oh
He
my
is
god,
not
bro.
as good as people think he is, bro.
No, I disagree. I gotta ask you, who's that dude at Bantamweight? What's his name? I forgot. The guy that was on a layoff. We seen how he looked like he had a Hall of Fame performance. Remember what's his
Yeah,
name?
but we've
Uh,
seen John Jones come back multiple times from long layoffs and still
I
win
mean, a
fights.
year, like, yeah, but I'm telling you, what's that dude's name? The one that popped and lost to Cejudo came back and like you literally
TJ
seen how,
Dillashaw.
yeah,
He
yeah, you
fought. He fought.
that
He
was
fought with a.
He fought with
He,
one shoulder.
he fought with a
Yeah,
dislocated
like,
shoulder
that's
that
not
came
a
out
fucking
20
comparison.
times in camp. So he went into that fight just to get a fight so he could get his shit fixed because I think it was Saeed Jakub, or I forget who came in and was telling us
Yeah,
about it, that
Saeed Jakub
they
told us
fight
that.
just so they can go there to get their shit fixed.
Yeah,
Basically,
so
they're just
now his whole shoulder is paid for by the UFC.
Oh,
I'm
okay, I feel.
excited.
I'm just saying, like people are so confident that he's gonna win that God is just. I'm just saying it's gonna be hilarious if you feel. Just bet your house on it, and
Been the same show and pony show for years now. John Jones, everybody, this next guy's coming. This guy's gonna beat him. John Jones does John Jones. Go
yeah.
ahead, Usman. What you got, bro?
With Juice, right? Juice something else too.
Got
Go
that
ahead,
Captain
Usman.
America juice.
Let's
Man,
go.
listen. Oh, fuck that. Oh, fuck that. They just changed the rules. So now John didn't cheat. So now what? So now give that man back his title defenses, give that man back his fucking W's. They changed the whole fucking rules. They said, you know what, a picogram isn't even cheating. We don't even know where that shit comes from. That shit's popped up on like 5 people now, and we can't figure out where the fuck it comes from or catch anybody cheating. So we're gonna change the fucking rules. So on that juice is some bullshit. John just got fucking cleared of all that, so I don't want to hear none of that bullshit. Mm-mm.
Go
I,
ahead,
Yeah,
Usman. What
fucking
you
At
got?
the
crickets.
time, it was
Matt,
cheating.
Fucking
two,
crickets for a reason.
two, two things that I want to bring up. The fucking Gon backers keep on bringing up, and it's like,
Hey, Usman,
oh,
pass it the signature when you're done, bro.
up to a new weight class, up to a new weight class. Dog, he was weighing 238 pounds already, just cutting down to 205. Fucking
Yeah.
everybody's talking about like, oh, he put on 70 pounds. The dude's at 350 now. It's like, dude, he's probably just gonna weigh in at like 248 pounds, 254 pounds. It's not gonna be anything crazy. I don't think that at all. And then another thing I keep hearing is like, oh, but John ain't never seen anything like Gon. John ain't never seen anything like Gon. Gon has fucking 24 fights total, Muay Thai and MMA. He ain't never seen nothing like John Jones. It's gonna be real funny when he's looking in that mirror and being like, "Oh shit, this guy throwing obliques back at me, and leg kicks. Oh, he can strike from range. Oh, now he's mid-range throwing elbows. Oh, now he's getting real gritty in the clinch. Like everybody's talking about, oh, John Jones ain't seen God. John Jones ain't seen God. He's fought strikers. He's fought wrestlers. He's fought everything. So what? This guy's a little fucking athletic. He can fucking dunk a basketball. Big whoops. I'm talking about mental. When they're talking about fucking ring rust and mentality, John Jones has that mentality.
Well,
When y'all
shit,
talking
man.
about being away for 3 years, yeah, I said he fucking turned his house into a gym and he's been staring at those flames for the past 3 years.
Well, bet your
That's
house
real.
then
I'm not.
change your life. Go change your
Hey,
Right.
life, little
as
Uzi.
as my boy, baby says, 50K,
Yo.
50K.
All I know. If he
Yeah, go ahead, signature. Go.
Uh, sorry, were we still in the John Jones Cyril Gane fight?
Oh,
I bet.
bro, come on, man.
Bro,
Yeah,
What
listen,
the fuck?
I was
Because
doing
the
some.
hand
listen,
I
system
was
ain't
doing
work
something. I'm
anymore. I've been
sorry.
sitting here for like 10 minutes.
hey, listen,
I was
listen,
doing
listen,
something. I'm
listen.
sorry. I'm sorry.
It's cool, it's cool, it's cool. Listen, we're gonna go in circles on this fight, guys. Listen, we are gonna go in circles.
Joe, man.
So
Joe, you
what
rich,
I
man. Change your life, Joe.
Listen,
You
all I'm
rich.
what I
saying
would
is that
like to
you
say,
said
baby,
listen,
if you ain't
that's
all
betting
a
enough to
house.
change
all I
your
want.
life on Gone, if you ain't betting enough to change your life on Gone, baby, that argument ain't shit. I love you, but that argument ain't shit. If you
Well,
Listen,
ain't
nah.
bet
listen.
The
enough
All
to
difference
all
fight
I'm
is,
Baby
saying,
to
nah.
that
listen,
Hold on, hold on. Let me
argument,
listen.
talk. Hold on. Let me talk my shit real quick. The difference is, I'm not confident on either side. I don't think either's a lot, but
Yo, this is the last thing I'll
y'all
say.
thinking
Okay,
Jones a
if
lot.
Cyril
Yo,
Gane,
hold up, y'all.
he can't hear D
Thank you.
Baby is the problem. He can't hear him. Signature, you can't hear D Baby. You got to leave and come back. You can't hear people.
Yeah, I got a question. So credit to whoever wins, right? So if God smokes him, I don't want to hear, oh, the layoff affected him, the weight affected him. Full credit. So no excuses, right? Because we said the layoff is a mental thing, right?
Yeah, bro.
With the narrative. I'm just saying, dog. I don't want to
A
hear,
hundred
oh,
percent.
Bro,
A
do you
hundred
come in
percent.
this space? This
no,
ain't,
not
Well, it depends how he beats him.
no,
bro.
no, no, because I'll give full credit to whoever, but like D Baby said, I'm not confident betting the house on either one. But the only guy I would have bet was Francis Ngannou. But other than that, like it's just like I don't know, man. I'm not so sure this guy. I know it's 50-50, but like you said, I would lean towards Gane, but I ain't betting the house on neither one of the motherfuckers because, like you said, I don't know. Anything could happen. One motherfucker pulls out. Like I said, it's a lot of shit that I wouldn't.
Hey,
That's
Liam.
the only
Hold up,
difference,
guys.
Joe.
Hold up. Liam, you still on here, brother?
You know it, dog. I'm
Hey,
just
man,
sitting in the
I would love
background
to
as
hear
I
your
get my
take.
fucking little nighttime snack going. What's up?
I would love to hear your take on this. You've been quiet this whole time. What you got? Who you got on Gani Jones?
So, in terms of an official pick, I haven't really made my official picks. I kind of let the week materialize as I do that. But just to give you my top line thoughts on the matchup, I think that John Jones is an extremely talented fighter. I think he's really dangerous. Do think that the move to heavyweight presents some unknowns. One of the things I always talk to people about is like just because you don't see it doesn't mean it can't happen, right? Like just because you haven't seen it yet doesn't mean it can't happen. Oftentimes I try and get on the other side of old champions, things like that. Like I'm looking to be, what I should say is I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to take a faceplant L and plant my flag and hope for the best, right? That's
Talk
kind of
that
what we're
shit.
doing here. So now that being said, right? John Jones at plus money, I probably would have jumped all over that. I hesitated when I saw it because I thought that, recency bias is a real thing in this sport, but it works in both ways. And I think that most people remember seeing John Jones at a stage in his career when he wasn't really trying very hard. I did not feel like I did not think we were getting his best effort. And I also didn't think he was on drugs. So I want to find out this week by doing more investigation if I think he's on drugs. If I think he's not on drugs, I think there's a 0% chance I'll bet him. Um, because I think that when he looked like he was at an all-time best, I thought he was clearly on drugs, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of guys are on drugs. That's just again a personal thing with me, but I think that Gon is talented. I think that there's no doubt about that. Like the guy is extremely long with his strikes. He's fast for heavyweight. He's snappy with his attacks. His kicks come from awkward angles. I think that Jones probably will be a little reticent, to engage with him at distance. So I think John, it basically comes down to me. If John pursues takedowns and gets them, I think this fight looks one way. And if he doesn't, I think the fight looks a completely different way. So John, if you wanted to point to a flaw in his like body of work long term, it's that he's a cocky piece of shit and he thinks he could fight anybody any which way and win. And I am a little bit concerned for him here that he will approach Gon in whatever way Gon wants to fight and it'll end up costing him. But I think that if John fights a really smart fight, he could look like a dominant hindsight favorite because I do think the Ngannou footage looked very suspect with Gon's wrestling, especially like somebody mentioned, he said after the fact he expected him to wrestle and still got out wrestled pretty summarily at points in that fight. And Francis Ngannou was on one knee, like coming off like a surgically or a knee in need of surgical repair, let's say, and he was still able to take him down. I think that John, technique for technique, should be the better wrestler. The question is, does he have enough requisite physicality to take him down? I think the answer is yes, but I don't think it's easy. I think in a larger octagon, it's going to create more opportunities for Gon to try and skirt away with footwork. So I think in the early going should be a competitive fight, but I think that if Jones is able to get takedowns at any point, it'll change the complexion of the fight. I'm just not sure how aggressive he'll be looking for them. And I'll tell you what, guys, at 35 years of age, guys will come out looking shop worn sometimes. John Jones, I think, is above that because he's one of the best fighters I've ever seen. But, just the idea of a fighter coming out looking completely different 3 years later at a new weight class, that is a live possibility. So I think that Baby and the people raising that as a possibility. I don't think it's a high percentage outcome, but do I think it's something that we have to take into account when we're talking about betting on, real money? Absolutely.
Well said, brother. I really like that. Go ahead, Average. What you got?
So I was just gonna touch on a comment. I think it was you, Trace, that said that ring rust isn't like real. It's a mindset. Well, if
I
you look
can't
at
speak. I
John,
can't speak on that, but I have Dominic Cruz has been very vocal about that point. Yeah, he thinks
yeah,
it's a
you're the
real
one who
thing.
said it. That's what I'm saying. But if you look at John
Yeah.
Jones, you're the one who brought it up. I'm just saying, like, if you look at John Jones, he's he's always confident in himself, right?
Wait a
I
minute.
mean, look at what,
Yo, my bad, my bad. I didn't mean
Go
to
ahead,
interrupt.
Average.
like he just he's like people say he's a narcissist. I mean,
Come on, like he is so confident in himself. It's not funny. So if I don't, I know I did bring up the fact that the timeout might play a factor, but like maybe it won't. You know, I honestly don't know. But my question is to you guys: does this go the full 25?
I
More
mean,
than
take
likely, in my opinion.
over the last few years, John Jones fights have gone to decisions. So I mean, if you were going to bet, I would say it'd be fair, you know. But I mean, you never know. Does he have power up there? Is he able to put somebody away? How good is Gon's chin? I mean, other than Todd Tuivasa, we really haven't seen him been hit cleanly like that before. And he did say he went out when he got hit like that. So I don't think John Jones has one hit power, but I mean, he's more than capable of putting somebody out with a head kicker, as we've seen with DC. He put him on wobbly legs and kind of pounded him out from there.
Yo, what happens if Ghana all of a sudden stops him in the fifth round? What do you think the odds would be? Like fifth round stoppage? Like say
Depends
he's
on how
getting
that fight's
dominated.
going.
Say,
If
say
you can
he's
bet it
getting
live or not.
dominated. And Ghana out of
Listen,
nowhere just goes
listen.
boom.
We are at 40 minutes on this fight. We're done with it. That's
Hold
it.
on, Joe. I got one more
No,
thing.
no, no, no.
Please, please, please,
Damn.
please. Come
No,
on,
bro.
Joe. It's about you,
You
bro.
got my
It's
man
about you.
begging. Go ahead, Joe. Let him have
40
it.
fucking minutes,
It's
baby. What
about
you
you.
got,
Come on,
bro?
man. Cause you
Come
try to,
on.
you try to call me up. Why I ain't got like a bet on Ghana to change my life. See, the difference is, man, I can see it for both sides. Y'all making it one side like Jones is a lock. That's all I'm saying. Like that's
Thank
hard.
you, man.
Okay.
I'm enjoy this
Very
victory
fair.
like I enjoyed Islam's victory against Oliveira,
Very
man. I
fair.
can't wait.
But here's what I got to explain to you guys that have not been around long enough to really understand John Jones. Okay. I'm gonna do this in 45 seconds and we're gonna move on. We have heard this for the last 10 John Jones fights. Every fucking thing that is being said, except for the going up in weight class. Before it was the size. Now these guys are John's height. Now these guys are John's reach. Now these guys are John blah 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 blah. Cardio will not be an issue for John because John never gets going. John doesn't get going. He doesn't spend energy. He's not going to all of a sudden go out there as a heavyweight and be like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to jump around like a fucking moron. He's going to go out there. He's going to stand almost still and wait for Surreal Gon to move around. And then he is going to counter strike him. And then when Surreal Gon gets close, he is going to put him against the cage. There is no question about that. And then there will be a question of whether or not Surreal Gon can survive from that point on. It's not a shot. Bro, we have heard this literally like if you have been a John Jones fan, bro, you have heard this until forever. It's not an issue for me of is Surreal Gon good enough to catch John Jones? Yes, he is. Everybody here, I said it. Yes, he is. The problem
Okay
is
then. Thank
the
you.
problem is the problem is the out of the words of John's last 6 opponents, straight out of their fucking mouths. John never lets you get started, so you can't hit him. John never lets you hit him. John never lets you get moving. Now, I know you could say Surreal Gon is different and John's never seen nothing like him, but here's the truth. John Jones became unmotivated at 205 because the entire division trained their entire careers to fight him. John Jones goes up to heavyweight. Half of them guys have trained their entire fucking career to fight him. I've been saying this since this space started. John Jones just said it in a video 2 weeks ago. You can go find that video where he said that for you guys. So that's the truth. So now you're telling me some guy who hasn't spent his whole career training for John Jones is magically going to come in and get the upset, bro? No, that was Vitor Belfort. That was fucking Lyoto Machida. That was, bro, there's a whole rack of guys that was already, bro. I've heard all of this before. So for all you guys that are actually betting Surreal Gon, I wish you the same luck that I wish anybody betting cash. But if you're not betting it,
I don't
5
need no
fucking minutes
luck.
into this.
Oh man, all I know is D baby. If Gon pulls through, man, D baby is gonna be talking that shit.
D baby gonna talk his shit whether he win or not. Come on now.
Can you boys still hear me? Man,
Yeah.
the space just reconnected the connection. That was really weird, and it didn't kick us. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna lap that fight out, boys. Everybody in here, if you bet it, I hope we all cash. I don't think Surreal Gun is a smart bet. If you get him at plus money and you believe in him, fucking take it. Don't bet your house on it.
Watch it be another draw.
Don't bet your house on it. Listen, if it goes to the scorecards, John Jones wins. I'm sorry. You don't have to believe in the rig. You don't have to believe in the fix. You don't have to believe in any of that. This is the UFC. If this is Las Vegas, Nevada, if that fight goes to the scorecards, John Jones wins. If it looks like Surreal Gon beat him, John Jones wins by split decision. If it looks like Surreal didn't beat him, John Jones wins by unanimous decision. I have never called a fix. I have never called a rig. I have never said that. You guys, we've been doing this for almost a year. If that fight goes to the scorecards, Surreal Gon can walk the fuck out of the arena. That's my opinion. Wholeheartedly, that is my opinion on that.
They do the same thing in the video cam too. Apparently, you can't beat John by decision.
Uh,
Damn, he a god, huh?
Signature, you
Damn.
got your hand up, bud. You're not about to start this fight back up, are you?
Yo, let's talk about the co-main event. Did you guys already go over that?
Yeah, for 20 fucking minutes. All right, listen. So it's getting late. It's East Coast here. We got a few things we do around here. Roster watch. Few fighters got dropped. Lena Landsberg, we all know she retired. She's officially dropped from the roster. I told you guys she retired last week. Jordan Wright was dropped from the UFC roster. Jose Johnson was dropped from the UFC roster. Zabiria, who got fucked in his last fight, was dropped from the UFC roster. And
And where's the big one?
jaw dropped to me, Darren Till was dropped from the UFC roster about probably 6 hours ago now.
You're all getting it. You're all wait. No one's getting it. Shit.
Just for Andrew, PFL picked up undefeated lightweight prospect Elvin Espinoza. After his week 4 fight, they picked up Davis DeRay Yanez after a week 5 fight, and Caitlin Neal. I couldn't find that she actually got a contract, but she says she's going to be the face of PFL. That's the whole roster watch for this week.